Hello, 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 and welcome to Chessboxing. This is probably one of the craziest of anything you'll see in your life. It's a mix between chess and boxing. And I'm here with a rather, I was going to say scary, because you've done chess boxing, Chris. But Chris, introduce yourself, my friend.
Simon, thank you very much. So I'm Chris, the General Levy, former chess boxer. It's a long time in the past. But Simon, a pleasure to be doing this with you. Some of our fans will know you from your other streams, your other activities. The Ginger GM, the Ginger part, self-explanatory. The GM part, for those who are less into their chess, GM means Grandmaster, so the highest level that's possible to achieve in chess. A pleasure to be doing this with you evening. I'm looking forward very much to your thoughts on the action that we have ahead of us.
Well, Chris, I think it's just going to be a really fun night, and it's a pleasure to actually do the commentary with someone who's been in the ring. As Guns N' Roses would say, get in the ring, right? I mean,
absolutely.
You've done it four or five times.
Four or five times, and in fact, we were talking earlier, the last time you were involved, you were the referee rather than commentating, and it was my last fight before quitting the chess boxing scene. And the only
Was
fight
I that bad?
The only fight that I won. I know it's not going to get any better from then on. So everything has come full circle. But we're here now, the Boston Dome, the new spiritual home of chess boxing in North London. And the crowd already here, I can tell we're in for a very fun evening with some entertaining fights ahead of us.
Well, Chris, I totally agree with you. And we came here a little bit early, so, to do our dry runs, should I say.
We've been
the
soaking up the atmosphere.
Soaking up the atmosphere. And it is, I played many chess events around the world. I've done commentary at many different places, but I've never been to something as wackily cool and as fun with such a good vibe as this. I mean, everyone's having a beer, there's smoke in the air, there's a ring there. This is just going to be a good night, isn't it?
So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the chess that we're going to have as well. Your thoughts on it? There's some really good players who we have, actually, some very high standards. I'm looking forward to getting your take on that. Some first timers, that kind of feeling, the excitement of getting in the ring the first time, the nerves, the edge, knowing that there's the crowd milling around we're going to see. It's taking me back a little bit as well. But this is sort of our first night back since kind of pure pandemic conditions have eased a little bit, and it does feel like we're back to normal in the chess boxing world. And I, for one, am very excited about that.
I mean, Chris, I totally agree with you. And the first time I experienced chess boxing myself was about 8 years ago. And a friend of mine, Matt, who's fighting tonight, Crazy Arm Matt, he mentioned to me, there's this new sport that we're developing, chess boxing. And to be honest, I was like, what the hell is chess boxing? Which I'm sure a lot of people are like, what the hell is chess boxing? And I went to the event, and it was in a nightclub in London, and it was one of the most amazing nights I've ever had. Normally chess events are very stuffy, and it's very quiet time for reflection, but chess boxing is the opposite. It's party. You can shout, you can stream, you can stream and scream. You can do anything here. You can drink beer. I mean, for me, this is like a good night out, and I'm actually really happy just to be here and excited about it. And like you mentioned, Chris, you fought in these as well. Were you scared the first time you got in the ring?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were talking earlier about the type of people who get drawn into this, and it's fair to say it's more the chess players who want to learn how to box rather than the other way around. And we can be quite introverted types, chess players, it's fair to say. So the thought that there are going to be 200-300 paying event goers who are going to be watching you, and I'm not sure what was more terrifying, the fact that you were expected to demonstrate a good level of chess, or that you were going to be having the scrap in front of people. I think both of them were equally terrifying, but once you get out there, it really is, it's a lot of fun. And you were asking the question, what the hell is chess boxing, was your thoughts, and maybe now is a good time for us to outline the concept briefly for anyone who may be joining for the first time. Chess boxing is, I suppose, very much, as it says on the tin, one round of chess, one round of boxing. The chess sort of picks up where you left off after the boxing round, as if the boxing had never happened. though obviously it has happened, and that's where things get very interesting. It's all about the transition between the two events, being able to control your thoughts, your emotions after a boxing round where the adrenaline is pumping through your veins. And having played a very high level, I suppose you can attest to how much it's about objectivity and
I mean, Chris, I've played chess at a high level, but in a very quiet playing hall where if anyone opens a bag of crisps, 200 people will look at them. You know, that person's, how dare he open a bag of crisps? And we're here, you can probably hear the music, and there's people drinking beer, there's people chatting, and most of the people in the audience are your regular people who just go down the pub. So it's kind of bringing together this theatre. I'd say it's theatre. It's a beautiful theatre of chess, this beautiful game, and boxing. And, it's going to be. I'm just looking forward to the fights. I mean, how many fights do we have today?
I think we have 5. So we have the headline bout at the end of the night is a European middleweight title bout. Cheyenne, the Prince of Persia, he stars himself from the UK, versus an opponent flying all the way over from Italy. So that's the headline bout. But we really have a lot of quality action ahead of us. We have, as I say, some first-timers. We also have, and you were talking about him earlier, Matt Crazy Arms Reed is the most experienced chess boxer on the planet. I mean, I'm long out the game, and he was there when I started getting into it, and he's still going. And Crazy Arms, the name speaks for itself. The guy is a phenomenon and very good at playing rapid chess as well. Very good psychologically. You'll enjoy his opening play, which is a little bit offbeat, let's say. He really is a crowd favorite, and a pleasure to be seeing him this evening as well.
Yeah, I mean, Matt is a fantastic guy, but like you said, he's one of the most experienced chess boxers. I mean, he's a very good chess player. I think generally what we got today, we got chess players rather than boxers who are boxing. Is that right? I mean, can people at home get into this sport? If you want to be chess boxing European champion, how do you do it?
I mean, the great thing about this is how inclusive and accessible it is. So we have several first-time fighters who have been training for maybe a year or even less. And I suppose maybe boxing is a little bit easier to pick up than chess to a certain level, which is why people come through the chess route and then learn the boxing. But yeah, the great thing about it is it's accessible. If anyone's watching and you see this and you fancy giving it a go, then come on down. The training's at the Islington Amateur Boxing Club at the top of Holloway Road, for those of you who are London-based. And really, you can get into it. It's all sorts.
I mean, Chris, I'm just sort of looking around the room now, and I don't know if we have any cameras of the room, but it's just a nice atmosphere as well. But the combination is going to be very interesting. I mean, I suppose. I mean, it starts off with chess. So they start with a board in the middle of the ring. Mm-hmm. And the rules are both sides have 15 minutes each.
15 or thereabouts, and they can use their time as they like over the course of the rounds. And the chess rounds are divided into, it's either 5 or 6 minute chunks. So you can, if you want to move very fast and put up an advantage on the clock, you can do that. If you want to take things a little bit slower, try and get a good position, or if you're trying to go with a boxing strategy, you can go a bit slower on the chess. And the really interesting thing actually with how a fight unfolds is quite often you'll get one fighter who clearly has an advantage on the boxing, one who has an advantage on the chess.
I mean, I was discussing with some friends earlier, and can they run around the ring? I mean, in the boxing, they can't really. They have to box, right? You can't just be a good chess player and think you're going to be all right at this. You have to be good at boxing.
Yes, but there are ways that you can slow things down in the boxing. You can clinch and make the ref break you. You can actually get on your bike, as we call it, and go around and be like a hard target to hit. There are ways you can slow it down. Likewise on the chess, you can maybe take a little bit more time than you would do otherwise if you wanted to draw that out for the boxing. Although we do have a very experienced chess arbiter, Kamal Bhatia, a kind of female international for England, very high level. And if you are clearly stalling, she will step in and tell you that you do need to get on with things.
So if you had a boxer, you couldn't just sit there and wait. You have to get involved with the chess as well. You've got to do both. You've got to be a chess player and a boxer.
It's about entertainment, and if you are not offering up enough on either one, the ref will step in and say we need to see a little bit more action here.
So like I say, you've done it 4 or 5 times. Were you more of a chess player or a boxer? You know, how did you get into it? What was your journey?
Very interesting question. So I would say I'm more of a chess player than a boxer. So I grew up playing junior chess, not to a great level, but to a decent level. I stepped away from the game, had always fancied trying boxing for a bit. A friend of mine actually saw an event like this, sent me a link and said, you always go on about trying boxing. I know you used to play chess when you were a kid, so you should go along, give it a go. And it's really, it reawakened my love of chess, Simon. Like I didn't play any chess for about a decade, and now I've got back into it. I've not progressed beyond the level that I was when I was a kid, but I enjoy playing the competitive stuff.
So you were doing it like you were earlier, but you were also getting punched in the head at the same time. So it's
which adds to the experience, definitely.
And how long did it take for yourself to become a good boxer? I mean, because you've got to be able to box at least. And I have to say, anyone who gets in the ring has got my utmost respect, because just stepping into the ring when you've got so many people around here looking, I mean, I'm terrified just, of the thought of that. I mean, you must get yourself really pumped up. That's why they had the walk-on music. What was your song?
Here Comes the Hot Stepper, Aini Kamosi, a 90s classic. We're going back quite a way now, which kind of gives away a little bit my vintage. But
okay, I don't know the song. Can you sing it for me?
We're not far enough into the evening for that,
okay,
but maybe a little bit later in the second half. But so you asked me about my origins, but let's talk a little about yours, because some of those who are maybe a little bit less familiar with the chess won't quite know about your background. But we're very lucky to have one of the strongest chess players in the country. But so tell us a bit about how you got into chess, Simon.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm a grandmaster, and I suppose there's something like 30 grandmasters in Britain ever. I'm 42 years old, and my dad taught me chess when I was a young kid. I fell in love with the game. I mean, it's a beautiful game. Started playing competitions, made it my life in some respects. So everything I did was chess, So the tournament lifestyle, everything about that was really cool. And I just, really just enjoyed it a lot. And took it on and on. Played competitions, played many things, and I end up here with chessboxing, which is just another really cool adventure.
Absolutely.
Another really cool part of the story. So,
And you're already known for how accessible you make it. So, obviously you have your own Twitch channel as well, but also well known for books, instructional videos, etc. You've really, I think, opened it up to a lot of amateurs such as myself. Your entertaining style, also your very attacking style, both in how you play and how you teach. I'm hoping we'll have some good attacking games for you to get stuck into.
I mean, I've just come from an event in Norway where my co-commentator is Grandmaster David Howe, and he loves playing 100-move games. And I'm thinking, I don't really want to see that today because it's boxing. You've got to get the adrenaline going. I want to see attacking chess. I want to see some gambits. I want to see the king go for the king. That's what I want to see today. None of the long stuff. But I mean, chess has really helped me. It's been a great part of my life. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because it's so much fun. I mean, just the atmosphere is fantastic. And from all walks of life. And I think what people don't realize is chess should be accessible to everyone. It's not. People used to think it was a game for geeks. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it's a lot of fun. And there's a great lifestyle around it. So, it's something beautiful. Something beautiful has been a big part of my life.
A game for geeks, but maybe becoming a geek has become a little bit more in trend of recently. And obviously there's been the whole Queen's Gambit phenomenon as well. It's got a lot of people into chess. And I imagine a lot of people watching online have also been playing online, and that's really exploded the last 2 years, the whole online playing scene.
Yeah, I mean, playing online, I mean, everyone probably plays online somewhere, a bit of blitz chess. I mean, Chris, I'm sure you do yourself. It's very addictive. Everyone can get a game on their phone, on their laptop immediately, you know. So that's part of the parcel, but getting out and actually experiencing it over a board is very scary because you've got to play in a tournament for your first time. But this is different gravy, as we say in England. This is a different level, right? I mean, you go and play a tournament, you don't expect to get hit in the face. You know, it's like, but here you do. I mean, how weird is that?
There's playing over the board, then there's playing over the board wearing a pair of shorts in the middle of a boxing ring. And as you see,
crazy, yeah, absolutely crazy. Yeah.
When we go to the live stream, we'll see how visually arresting it is. Seeing, two prime specimens just there, sat down, playing chess with the eyes of. Yeah, it's filling out even more now, I think. So.
It's good. It's going to be really just eye-opening, and I mean, you can see my eyes are wandering, and I'm just looking around the room, and I'm looking at the different people who are here, because generally when you go to a chess tournament, most of the people at chess tournament in England, you've been to a fair few yourself. They're normally, shall we say, the older generation.
Yeah.
They
maybe 95% male, I would say.
95% male at least. They're very reserved characters. You come here, you look around, and it looks 50-50 and a young audience, a very young audience. And it's like, this is what it should be. This is like chess rock and roll, right?
Chess rock, it's a very good way of putting it. I'm feeling a little bit fusty now in this suit, but yeah, we really have all sorts. And as I say, it's the first kind of proper post-pandemic event. We did have one at Christmas, but now I think this really does feel like the chess boxing scene is back up and running again here in North London.
And I think we can see the ring there. I don't know if it's been shown on the stream.
Yeah, I think we can see it right now.
Yeah, we just had a glimpse at the ring. And I mean, when you did your first fight, so just talk us through. So you know, how did you exactly how were you feeling, and was the chess or the boxing more important in that fight?
Such a good question, Sam, because I think on both there's quite a lot of pride hanging, intellectual and physical pride. And I'm not sure how I would have been more upset about losing physically or getting checkmated, but you're there at the venue a couple of hours ahead of time. You gradually hear the crowd accumulating, and suddenly it dawns upon you that you are going to have to perform in both of these disciplines in front of such an audience. It's nerve-wracking, but in a very enjoyable way. Then the music kicks in, you have your ring walk, and you just go with it and you enjoy it. So who knows, like I'm hoping that maybe you seeing it might even entice you. We were talking earlier about maybe some potential grandmaster opponents.
It's quite a good question. I mean, who would be a good opponent for me? You know, in this, I mean, do you have anyone in mind? I could maybe. Who would you pair me up against, Chris?
Oh.
If I had to be another grandmaster, do you have anyone in your mind?
I mean, we mentioned David Howe. It could be a real clash of styles. I don't know how it would be on the boxing.
I could not do David Howe. He's too much of a good friend. I can't hit David in the face.
So the interesting thing I find is through this you become close friends with those who you have shared such an experience. I don't know. Keith Arkle, I think, would be nuggety. Keith Arkle, for those who are less chess followers, been around. He's been on the circuit for a long, long time. Renowned for his end games. Maybe not quite got your build, but I could see him being very. He'd be tenacious. Arkle.
I think most chess.
He'd take you deep.
He would take you deep. He'd take you to the end game. And I mean, I don't think Keith. Maybe he enjoys getting hit sometimes. I don't know, but in the ending, in the opening. But I would. I was thinking about this, and it's like, to be a chess player, you have to be a little bit ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit sadistic. I think the top players are. Maybe a bit egotistical, because you've got to win every game. And these kind of factors to become a top chess player I don't know if they're the same in boxing. I guess they're similar. So you've got the ultimate physical sport, boxing, I would say. I mean, a round of boxing is so hard. It's such physically hard work. And you're also being punched in the face. Chess is the ultimate mental game. You know, you're playing it over a board. You've got to think, you've got to calculate, and it wears you out. It really is. So putting these together is an incredible idea. But chess players, I think there would be a link. There must be.
There would.
Because it's the same mentality.
It's about the preparation ahead of time. So in chess, your preparation at the highest level anyway, a lot of that is about knowing you're opening your lines, having maybe a novelty prepared for your opponent. But it's also then about being able to think on your feet during the course of it. And you could arguably say it's the same with boxing. You know, you have to prepare yourself physically, but be able to react instinctively in the ring. Actually, the more we're talking about it, thinking about other people who are quite active in the online commentary. Lawrence Trent, we've had him on the commentary as a guest commentator once, I think, in the past. Those who are more into the stream from the chess angle will know him as well. But yeah, he's young and fit like yourself.
Well, hang on a minute. I mean, I'm not sure I'm young or fit, but like, you know,
relative to the chess world, Simon.
I think maybe a little bit relative. But I mean, Lawrence actually does a bit of boxing.
Yeah, you're saying he's out in Berlin actually, training with the Chessboxing club.
I mean, talking about other nations which do chess boxing. So obviously, it was, as far as I know, an idea that was thought about in Holland. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And the founder, unfortunately, maybe passed away.
Yeah, he passed away recently. Ipa Rubing. So he was a performance artist, and he saw it in a graphic novel. So there's a French.
Sorry, he got the idea from a comic.
From a comic, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
there was a French artist, Enki Bilal, who's apparently well known within that scene, and in one of his strips had actually made up this sport. I think the main protagonist had to battle the villain over chess boxing, and Ipa had seen it and it's like, okay, I'm going to put this on as being an actual performance thing. Codified the rules entirely himself, found somebody who would fight with him, invited these art critics along in Berlin, where it was based, and they said, okay, we love this as a performance, but even more so, we liked it as a sport, so you should maybe actually try and produce this a little bit further.
Kind of started out as performance art, you know, as an idea. So it was like a very cool concept, which got people thinking. And then when that thought developed, it was like, why not make this a sport? Why not make this something serious? And but it's still got, and I can see here, that element of sport.
Everyone!
We'll hand over to our MC.
No, come on, we need a bit more of that. It's time for the chess boxing! Better, getting warmed up. Nice to see you all. How is everyone? A bit of a woo over here, a bit of a woo over here. Nothing from this side. Dismal. Let's try again. How's everyone doing? That's better. A bit of enthusiasm, because we have got a fantastic night of chess boxing for you. Okay, this side's getting better. Now they're my favourites. Keep up that side. So, let's get a read of the room here. Give me a cheer if you've been along to the chess boxing before. Give me a cheer if you're a chess boxing virgin. Why is that one always more high-pitched? So, my name's Jem. I am your MC for this evening. And for those of you virgins, let's hear, what the hell is this chess boxing? Well, basically, we get a round of chess, followed by a round of boxing, followed by a round of chess, and then some boxing, and then some chess, and then some boxing. Basically, until someone does a checkmate, or someone gets knocked out, or they run out of time and it goes down to points. Ooh, know. It can get very heated. And in order to keep everything fair, everything graded and assessed and scored, I'm going to be joined in the ring at various points by the two lovely people that you can see here. So let's introduce them, shall we? First of all, former England women's chess champion and women's FIDE master, your arbiter for this evening, Kamwal Bhatia. Give her a huge round of applause. Do a twirl, Kamwal, go on. Yes! And from Cuba, ex-junior amateur world boxing champion, referee Reynaldo Dominguez! And of course, while the chess is happening, we need some top-class commentary, so give it up for our wonderful chess commentators, Chris, the General Levy, and, especially for tonight, Grand Master Simon Williams! They're going to keep you clued up on all the chess drama, and it's going to get so dramatic and fun. So, last of all, there is one more very, very important person who I need to introduce you to, who is going to keep you in mind of what round we are on. Our very special Chessboxing Nation ring girl, the Berserker.
From the dawn of time they came, before girls existed, and before sexism was bad, a warrior class was immortalized as a chess piece. These Nordic warriors were crack troops destined for Valhalla, charging into battle naked, except for the skins of slain beasts. The hallucinogenic plant stage drove them to feverish violence on the battlefield, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. No one knew the Berserkers were still with us, until now.
Make some noise!
Do you want it? It's great, I love it, you know. It's like
Here he comes, the Berserker! Oh, our very own Berserker! Give him a big cheer! Now, the Berserker is going to help us keep count of what rounds we are on using the infamous Icelandic thunderclap. It's going to go a little bit like this. We need you to hold your hands in the air. This side's doing well. Yeah, very good. Everyone's doing well. Hands in the air. He will denote the round number, stamping his feet, and then you will clap. Let's give it a go, Berserker. Yes! Thank you very much, Berserker. I like your wolf head there. He looked like a sweet boy, but he makes a sweet hat. Alrighty. We also have two very special guests in the audience from the English Chess Federation directors. Agnieszka Mileska and Shore Bayat are with us this evening. Give them a big round of applause. Important people, everyone, important people. And last of all, I need to ask you a very important question. Are you ready for some chess boxing? All right, let's get on with our first bout. All right, thanks, Berserker. Let's watch him gracefully get out of the ring. Ooh. Very nice. Okay, let's introduce our first fighters. Just gracefully turning the page there. Here we go. So, first in the ring, this fighter was born on a bamboo bed, on the bamboo floor of a bamboo shack in a small village of Indonesia. Sounds a bit like an 80s action movie montage beginning, doesn't it? I think I've even seen that movie. But he is now a software developer living in Crouch End. Maybe a bit more glamorous, maybe a bit less bamboo. And this is his first ever chess boxing bout. So how will the montage end? Let's see, shall we? In the white corner, weighing in at 85 kilograms, Andrew Komodo Dragon Holler! Here he comes! Get some love from the crowd! Woo! So he stands at 181 centimeters. He's got a chess ELO of 1530. His hobbies are he likes chess. Pretty handy. Make some noise once more for Andrew Komodo Dragon Hallward. All right, so joining him in the ring, our next fighter is an internet engineer. Ooh, so basically he just tells people to turn it off and on again. When he's not helping people get onto the information superhighway, he's a man stuck in the noughties, grabbing life by the ears. Hold on to your earlobes, everyone. In the black corner, weighing in at 83 kilograms, Razzle Dazzle Alam! What a charmer! Make some noise! Save it for the fight, lads. So, standing at 185 centimeters with an ELO of 1500. His hobbies include working out and eating burgers. One more time for it's Razzle Dazzle Alam. And let's hear it for our first fighters. One more time. Andrew Horwath and Russell Alam. Enjoy the bout, boys.
Simon, I think these are two of the suavest looking chess boxers I have seen in my time. I'm looking forward to this one very much.
I totally agree. Look at those suits. I'm just wondering, are they going to wear them where they box, do we think, or is it just for the chess?
You would love to see it. The style, the sophistication. Two first-timers here. So we're about to go into the opening stage, Simon. What should we be looking out for here? What are both players trying to do in the opening stage of a chess game?
So they are going to kick off, and it's who has the white pieces. It's the Komodo dragon, and the white pieces has the advantage. It's like having the serve in tennis, and what you need to do is to control the center of the board, get your pieces out, and get your king safe. So, well, it looks like they're getting ready. They've got to have the headphones on just so they don't hear our brilliant moves, Chris.
Just so they can't hear our amazing suggestions that we're going to be firing out now.
That
would be far too much of an advantage if they could overhear. And I believe they play heavy metal through those headphones as well, just to drown it out.
Nice. And I think you can probably see the moves behind in the crowd if you're watching. They're off. So what are we going to see? The timer starts. So they are timed, and the boxing will start in about 4 minutes. So we don't expect an early checkmate, do we, Chris?
I don't think so. As you were saying, it's about setting yourself up for what's to come. So you develop your pieces, get your king safe, battle for control of the board. This should be the round that sets up how the chess is going to go. And I think we
see a move. We have a move. Do we have a move? There's a lot of thinking going on, a lot of adjusting. Here it comes. Let's have a little cheer there for the Queen's pawn. Oh, yeah. So White is taking the center with his pawns. This is the best thing to do. And he's also got a little bit of a boogie going on there. I don't know what he's listening to there, Chris, but he's getting well into the game. It looks like Black is already thinking about his next move. It's only move 2. He should be playing quickly. He's going for a very solid setup there. And White developing his knight. Do you like the way White's playing this, Chris?
I mean, both of them have slightly different styles. So White is very classical, occupy the center with your pawns. Black is playing a little bit more reserved. You can see that both the first two moves from White were pushing the pawn forward 2 squares, which it's allowed to do on its first move. Black is a bit more sitting back. If you think about it in football terms, it's about possession football versus the more counter-attacking style of razzle-dazzle in the White tucks there. So 2 opposing styles that could lead to...
Oh, we have a threat. We have a threat. He's brought his bishop out to attack the queen. Will Razzle see it? I mean, that bishop that's just moved, if he gets a chance, it will take the queen. Has he seen it? He's seen it. He's blocked it. He's too cool for those tricks.
Exactly. I mean, it's a one-move threat, but still, when they're on the nerves, something could be overlooked. But yeah, the queen, obviously the most valuable piece on the board. They're both playing according to your dictums, actually, Simon. They're developing, they're in their own ways, controlling the center. What they'll probably be looking to do next, as you say, is get the king to safety, by which you mean castling, usually. So tucking the king in the corner, we might expect to see in 3-4 moves' time from both players.
That's right, Chris. It's very important. The aim of chess is to checkmate the opponent's king. So that's the one with the cross on. You can all see it on the board, the electronic board. I think it also shows the time. If they lose on time, they lose the game. So they can't go down to 0. So the time is ticking away. But the king is very important. Now we see Black pushing in the center. We said the centre is very important, but it's white to move, and I think a very good move here would be if white pushes his pawn forwards and attacks the knight. So, do we think he's going to go for that one? Nope, he's developing.
So yeah, you noted that the pawn was pushed forward there on the last move from Razzle Dazzle. He'd maybe lost a little bit of time, because if you remember at the beginning, he'd pushed it forward 1 square, and then again 1 square. Maybe could have done with developing another piece in that situation. But it's early doors, but as black, because you don't have the first move, you also don't want to lose time like that. That maybe hurts you a little bit more than white. But we're talking really about micro advantages here. Maybe at the top grandmaster level like yours, that could have quite serious consequences. But here, let's see how it plays out.
I think so, but we can look at the body language of the two players, and we can see that Mr. Komodo seems very confident. But I think Bond, he's not looking so good, Bond, at the moment. He looks a little bit nervous. We see that white has now done this very special move. This is a move where you castle your king. So you put your king where there's pawns in front of it. Those pawns are like bodyguards. They protect your king. And at the moment, black's king is stuck in the middle of the board. Later on, that could be very dangerous if white can open up the position. So I really like white's position at the moment. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play when they get punched in the head.
And we're about to see that.
So now they are getting rid of the board and they're getting the gloves on.
So.
So I think the boxing is going to start very soon. We've had the calm chess. They're going to bring out the gloves and get in the ring.
Can't wait, Simon. Cannot wait. Okay, so I think are we live?
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I really want the commentators to say, now that's a bomb move.
Yeah, why can't you do the bomb?
Can I?
No, they're not allowed. They're not allowed to talk now because they're talking about the test, but
Can I say?
you're almost boxing commentators about, or like general commentary.
They're like
That would be quite simple.
Wait until they get to the white committee.
Yeah, probably what we could do is like give it a like.
Ron got his clothes off. That was the real Ron move.
You're right.
Good, yeah, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Are you going to do it again? No, I was on reserve for tonight, but I'll do it in December.
That would be so difficult.
See you commenting, Michael.
Yeah, well, that's right, man. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Simon. Okay, so Simon, what did you make of that first round? There's a little bit unusual play from Razzle Dazzle on the black side there.
Yeah, I think that White has a very good position in the chess. I mean, just look at the kings. White has already castled, and it's going to take Black 3 moves to castle. He has to move a pawn, move the bishop, and castle there. So at the moment, the chess is going very much in White's favour. So if I was Razzle, I'd be looking to get an advantage in the boxing here. I think he's got to come in hard with the boxing.
Yeah, very much. I mean, it's not terminal, but White starts off, as you say, with the advantage, the equivalent of the serve, as you say. And Black lost the move by playing the king's pawn forward 1 square and then again a second square. So he's really lost a little bit of the time there now.
Oh, definitely.
Queen C8's a bit unusual as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Black's played a couple of very strange moves, and if you look at the way White's played everything really well. I mean,
very classical development.
Definitely, the Komodo Dragon's playing very well there. Okay, but I have to say, Bond is looking a bit scary. You know, he's looking like he wants it now.
They both look like they've been training, but certainly Razzle has the height advantage here over Andrew. So he'll be looking to establish that jab early and get that dominance in the ring, as you were saying, that he may need to offset things as they are on the board. Referee Ronaldo Dominguez giving last instructions to both fighters. He'll be saying he wants to see it clean, not too much clinching, etc.
Can we expect a knockout in round 1?
In the same way as with the chess, you wouldn't expect to see a checkmate in round 1. I think likewise. Well, they'll be both looking to establish their advantages. So let's see. This is the first time for both.
They're in. Here they come, and they need to get in there.
So,
I have to say, it looks like Razzle is coming out with a little bit more aggression there. He's coming straight at him.
He's piling it on, but Andrew is covering up there. You would like to see him firing back a little bit, just to discourage us. But Razzle, maybe knowing that the chess may not be going so well for him, is clearly coming out with the early aggression, looking to assert himself. Andrew maybe...
But look at that determination on Andrew's face. I'd like to see him a bit more dodge and weaving and throwing a bit of a counter there. You know, just sucking in those punches. Come around, here he comes.
A good jab to the body there.
Yeah.
He's soaked up the early assault. Maybe he's playing the equivalent of rope-a-dope here, so he's maybe looking to bring Razzle onto him, tire him out, and come into it in the second half of the round. A jab to the body again.
I have to say, I mean, looking at the guards is quite interesting, because you can see Razzle has got much of a lower guard, and we can see that Andrew's got the high guard there, just trying to stop those punches coming in. And it's definitely Razzle. It's definitely him who's coming in with more punches, isn't it, at the moment there?
He's the aggressor. Andrew soaked it up well, and he's doing good work with a jab to the body. But I'd like to see him maybe building on that, throwing in a few more combination punches to discourage Razzle, because Razzle is clearly winning this round so far in the way that Andrew was in the chess. We have the classic dichotomy set up here. One on the boxing, one on the chess.
This is what's really interesting about chess boxing, because you get someone dominating the chess as Andrew, who has the very funky hair and the white shorts. He's playing much better in the chess, but in the boxing, he's getting a little bit owned. So he wants to get back to the chessboard, get back playing that game and see if he can win it in the chess. And we're back.
And he is back to it. He is back to the chess. So now we can talk again about the position that we have coming. And that's going to be fascinating now to see how they adjust to having had a round of boxing in there. In them. The crowd here at the Boston Dome.
On their chess. They
are pure chess aficionados.
Oh, yeah.
Simon, have you ever seen such a love for the game in your 20-odd years as a professional, as you are seeing here?
Only when I walk in my local pub, they might shout that as I go.
I think so.
Occasionally, but it's amazing that they want to see the chess. But I mean, this is. I really think now, going back to the chess, the Komodo Dragon, who's doing very well, he has to put the pressure on, because let's be honest, he's suffering in the ring there.
He showed great heart there to get through it. The initial assault from Razzle there. It was 20 or 30 seconds of unanswered blows raining down on Andrew, but he was starting to fire back. He adjusted. He worked out that he did have that shot to the body to maybe discourage Razzle a little bit, but he will be looking, now that he's in his domain, he will be looking to press on that advantage we were talking about earlier, the slightly better classical development, the king already tucked into safety.
I totally agree. And one thing again, I must say, utmost respect for both these two people just getting in the ring. Just the fact they're getting in the ring, they're trading punches. I mean, that takes a lot of bravery to do that.
Trading punches, but also trading moves on the board in front of what's a knowledgeable crowd here. That I've seen some quite serious chess players in the crowd here at the boss. I know you have some teammates of yours who are here as well. So it's also quite intimidating knowing that there are people watching your every move, quite literally your every move. And think about how it is on chess. So Simon, how will this next round unfold, do you think?
Well, going back to the chess, I mean, have a look at the clock. I mean, I think the Komodo dragon with the white pieces, he needs to move a bit quicker because he's clearly the better player on the chessboard. He's got a very nice position. I think he now needs to open up the position. The black king is in the middle. Hello, we're live with the chess. Can we hear chess again? Chess, 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 chess. Come on. Let's bring on the chess. That's a very exciting round of boxing, but one of the very interesting things about chess boxing, the best boxer is not necessarily the best chess player. And we have the Komodo dragon with the white pieces, who took a little bit of a battering there in the boxing. We'll have to be a little bit honest there, he did, didn't he? But now he has the better position in the chess. So he's got to do well and go for the black king, Chris.
So we were talking earlier how we quite like the white position because he's developed a bit quicker. He's got his king safe. So now we're back on Andrew's domain, and Razel is doing a very smart thing, taking a big think. He's moved that pawn forward one. What do you think of that, Simon?
I don't like that move, and I think also the Komodo dragon's just played a move there to get his breath back. But what he should be doing, obviously when you're being punched in the head, it's very, very tough to do anything. But he's got to get back in the game, and he's got to open up the position. Look at the black king. How do you get to the black king? You've got to open up, but there's an attack to the bishop there. The bishop moves back, very clever move. Always look at your opponent's last move and make sure you know what they're doing, Chris.
Chess is all about anticipating what your opponent's threat is as well as your own plans. And Andrew's playing very tidy moves here, looks very calm, collected. Razel running the clock down a little bit. Let's have a look at the time. So 6 minutes 40 for Andrew, 3:50 for Razel. Razel's going to have to move quite quickly after this round, which is really going to affect his play, I think.
Well, totally. I mean, keep an eye on the clock. You can see it on the screen where the chessboard is. You can see their time. If they get down to 0, they lose. They lose the game. It doesn't matter about the boxing. They've taken too long. They're too much of a slug. They lose. So he's got to move quicker, Razel. And I like what Andrew's done here. He's pushed the pawn, gaining more space in that area of the board.
That's it. He's going for expansion on that queen wing, so the one on the left-hand side of the board. He's used the extra time that he has, his quick development.
Okay, can we hear it? When you move the H-pawn, this has got a special move. It's called Harry the H-pawn. Can we hear it for Harry? Harry! Harry!
It's a very attacking move, so he's throwing forward the pawn. He's going to threaten to push it again in one move. If White's not careful, that bishop that sat there in front of his king could be trapped. Oh!
A counter-attack there. White pushes in the center. That pawn that he's pushed is attacking the black knight. So if he gets a chance, that pawn will take the black knight. But I have to say, I'm very impressed with the way that Razel has played this round of chess. He's looking calm, he's going for the attack. I think he's relaxed into it a little bit more, Chris, than the first couple of moves.
I think so. He's basically saying to Andrew, okay, you can have the left-hand side of the board, the queen side, but I'm just going to go after your king. Oh, he's ignored it.
Harry! Pushes it again. Look at that H-pawn go. He's moving it. He's going to move it again. He takes the bishop. And he's opening up the rook. Look at the black rook. It has an open line towards White's king. But it's okay at the moment, but it's still getting very interesting chessboard. A little bit of nerves there. The hand was going, but he's down to 2.5 minutes.
He's going to have to move really quick, but Simon, Razzle is playing in your style. He's just throwing forward the pawns, trying to open the lines towards the king. He's really come back into it in this round, I think.
Totally agree. And the main thing about chess is how safe is your king. And if you look at both kings at the moment, they're both quite safe. But if we look at the time, Razzle was very short. There might only be one more round of boxing and then another bit of chess because he's going to lose on time otherwise. He's trying to block things up there. They're back into the boxing.
Okay, Simon, so now we're back to the feed. Razzle Alamna really came back into that after what was quite a dubious opening round. Obviously, you love to see that pushing of the H-pawn. That's your signature style. He's played quite cool. Left his king in the center, opened up the line, though, towards that white king. What do you think of that round?
I think the Razzle played very well in that round, actually. I mean, his chess skills pushing Harry much better. I was worried in the first couple of moves that he would get in trouble, but the position on the board now looks quite unbalanced. I think white is still better, but black has some chances. The rook on h8, right in the corner of the board, has that open file.
Yeah.
But the question is, can Andrew, with the white pieces, survive the boxing?
Can he survive the boxing and then press home his huge time advantage on the clock? Got almost 6 minutes to Razzle's 2. So yes, the position, he's come back into it, but having to blitz those moves out in the next round is going to be very tough for him. So I expect to see Razzle come out strong on the boxing here.
Yeah, I think Razzle really needs to go for a knockout now, because if Razzle doesn't knock out, we go back to the chess, and all that Andrew needs to do is move quickly, and he might win on time. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see this, because Razzle was so strong in the boxing. I think he's just got to go for it. I think he's got to go for a knockout.
And likewise, interesting to see whether Andrew engages, or whether he tries to, stymie a little bit, slow things down, hold on, or kind of dance around the ring a little bit to get himself out of range. But I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how they both play this, considering how the game progressed during the test. Maybe we'll see Andrew come back into the boxing as Razzle did on the chess.
Yeah, I mean, it only gets harder in the boxing. It's the most hardest physical sport you could ever imagine. And you can see he's come straight out, Razzle. He's going straight in for the punches. I think he's just got to move in, getting under that guard. But I do like what Andrew's doing. He's throwing. He's got to use that body a bit more, duck a little bit more.
Well, there's a good right to the ribs there from Razzle. But Andrew is coming.
Much better. Get in there. Good.
Oh, it's properly opening up now. This is what we call telephone box stuff. They're both just standing in front of each other and swinging for the
what
ribs.
Andrew's doing. He's fighting now. He's getting there. He's got to keep throwing those arms, though. No matter what happens, he's got to throw those arms, right?
In boxing as in chess, in chess the term is counterplay. In boxing it's about the counter punch. You can't just sit there and defend. You really do need to give your opponent something to think about, make sure they know they haven't got it that way. And Andrew is certainly adjusting his approach. I think he's had a good talk from his corner man, legendary chess boxer, Mike the Beverageable Botley, saying he has to come out with a little bit more aggression.
Do you know what I'm seeing though, Chris? It looks to me like Razzle's a bit tired.
I mean,
it looks to me like he's good punch there.
That said, he landed a very solid left hook and a nod of appreciation from Andrew there. He's gone backed up into the corner.
He's going for the knockout. Good
He's unloading with the hooks there. Maybe a little bit slow, maybe not quite. A good two big counter rights from Andrew. And again, he has Razzle rocked. That was huge. And again, a nod of appreciation from Razzle before he comes back. And Razzle is the one to initiate the clinch. Razzle, what a turnaround.
That was amazing, wasn't it? Andrew there, he's got a real spirit about him, getting back in there and throwing some punches. Great stuff.
That was some serious counter punching there. Both players really unloading here. For two first timers, this is some excellent entertainment, I have to say.
You see, they're both tired. The guard is dropping a little bit, but I really like that counter punch there.
And
back to the chest.
The 2 minutes is up already. What a round! I love the symmetry. Razzle coming back in on the last chess. Andrew with those counter rights. I think Razzle was genuinely robbed there for a minute.
I think that was a great round of boxing. Absolutely brilliant round. It actually looked to me like Razzle might have gone down there at some point. He got punched quite seriously in the head there.
He was the one who was holding on there. Where he was the one who was sucking up air and taking a few minutes just to get back steady on his feet. So
I totally agree. And now I have to say, Komodo Dragon is in a very good position in the chess. I mean, if we just look at the clock, he's got nearly 6 minutes. Razzle's only got 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
So yeah, good on the clock. What do you like about White's position as well here?
Well, I like the fact that White has some central squares. So White's knight can come straight into the centre.
That juicy square here in the middle of the board on the Queen's file.
Yeah. It's a D5, that very big square.
And that B pawn also kind of controls the C6 square, which would otherwise kick it away. So we'd expect to see the knight jump in there, really establish the dominance of the center of the board. Razzle may look for the counterplay against White's king, but he's going to have trouble maybe funneling his other pieces over. I think the rook in the corner in the top left there on A8, the queen on C8, ideally he'd want to funnel those over towards the king side.
I think so. I mean, Black's only got one open file. I really like what he's done, but he's got to move quicker. It doesn't really matter what moves he plays. The round, I believe, is about 4 minutes long. The chess. How long is the round?
Yeah, 4 minutes long. Oh, we are back, Simon. What a round of boxing, Simon. How would you describe that last round of chess? Razzle was really coming into the chess in the same way as Andrew was mounting a comeback in the boxing there. It's a very even fight now.
It's a very even fight, but this can be 4 minutes long, the chess. And if we look at Razzle's time, he's only got 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So he's got to move quickly. But can we hear it for the chess? Chess! Come on! Chess! 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 And we're off. So I think Andrew is the big favourite. He really played so bravely in the boxing there. He threw some great punches, but I expect him now to move his knight into the centre of the board. What do you think? Is that a good move, Chris?
Yeah, so as you were saying, it's about establishing that control, and I think White does have the opportunity to hop that. Oh, he's taken the pawn instead.
So you could take a pawn by taking diagonally one square, and that means he goes 1 point up, but it's not really much of a danger to Razzle. What's Razzle going to do? So he pushes forwards in the centre. I like this. Very aggressive move. Black now attacks the white knight.
And that's going to have to drop back maybe to a less strong... Yeah, there you go. See, it's had to retreat, exerts a little bit less control there. A nice move from Razzle, and now he can pick up the pawn if he wants to.
So now the black bishop just comes backwards, because otherwise the white rook may have captured it. I think that White has to play a bit quicker, keep the pressure on Razzle's position, and that's a great move. The centre of the board, it's like a battle. If you control the centre of a battlefield, you control the whole board, and White's knight has come into the centre of the board there. And now the black queen, I don't know if I like that move. He should be moving it towards the king, I feel, not the other way.
I think so, because Razzle opened up that line on the far right hand, so the rook is sitting there in the top right, firing down towards the white king. You want to get your pieces coordinating as part of the same plan, and therefore I would want the queen over towards that side. I might also, if I was black, think about exchanging the bishop that's attacking the knight for that very strong knight that hopped in centrally. That seems like a reasonable trade to think about there, Simon.
Yeah, definitely. And we see with the last move that Andrew has captured a pawn. So he's now captured the pawn. And look at those white knights in the centre of the board. They are just dominating the centre. I think White's position is fantastic. And Razzle only has 1 minute, 20 seconds left. He moves the rook up, putting a little bit of pressure onto one of those knights.
Yeah, with 1 minute to go.
He loses the rook! There it goes! 5 points down the drain. That is a massive mistake from Razzle. He's lost his rook. That means on the chessboard, if you count, and he's going to lose his knight now. Bishop takes knight, check. Surely that's winning. Use that bishop, take the knight, check the king. Is he going to do it? He does it. He attacks the king. That's the first check so far.
Now it becomes all about survival. So now the position is so overwhelming for white, both on the clock and on the board, that Razel is going to have to try and draw this out and get one more chance to knock out Andrew in the boxing here. But the position has turned massively in the last two moves.
Yeah, Andrew is dominating the chess. And now he brings his queen in. It's looking like the end for Razel. Razel needs the boxing. He won't survive many moves in the chess. That white queen is threatening to come into the corner of the board and give the black king a massive check. It's very near to checkmate here, the end of the game. Checkmate, you attack your opponent's king and it can't escape. Very close. And look at the time. He's got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds.
Can he make it for another round of boxing? That's a good move. He blocks the check that was potentially there on that top right-hand side. It's all about survival and eking out his time for Razel. One more chess round, he's going to be finished, but he really needs to get to the boxing now.
I mean, if he survives the chess, he needs to knock out in the next round. He's survived.
He's made it, son. He has made it.
So we're going back to the boxing, but Razel must win this round of boxing. He must knock out here. Otherwise, he's going to lose the chess.
Simon, that chess game took a real turn there. So Razel had come back into it in the second round. He was under a lot of pressure, those knights occupying the central squares. He was looking for that counterplay, brought his rook forward and simply forgot that it could be taken in one move. Once that rook had gone, not only did he lose material, but it let the white pieces swarm in around the black king. And look at the black pieces, they're stuck there in the top left-hand side. It's really an imbalance of forces here.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the black king will be checkmated very soon. It does seem like Andrew's the better chess player. But in the boxing, this is the last chance for Razel. He needs to win the boxing.
It's all or nothing. And Razel, although his position is worse, is a strong enough chess player to know
I love the
that it's
berserker,
all or
by
nothing.
the way. I love this berserker.
I would love to see it in top-level chess. I think maybe every half hour you just get them into.
Oh, I love that.
Just
I can imagine the candidates.
rile
You can see them working, and the berserker comes in. Maybe after some of those mushrooms he was, we saw, which gives you the berserker spirit.
You yourself have been spending time in Norway of late, so you're familiar with these Scandinavian traditions. I think it would really fit very well, and maybe bring chess to a new audience. The type of audience who we're seeing here at the Boston Dome, North London, really lapping up the way this fight is oscillating to or fro, and probably coming to a conclusion one way or another in the next couple of rounds, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, this warm-up fight, I think it's very clear what has to happen. We know that Razel, he has to go for the kill. If he doesn't knock out, he doesn't end the fight, he will lose the chess on time, if not on the position.
Yeah,
so he's got to go for it now. He's got to go for it.
There are some positions that are worse, but you know you can maybe hope for a blunder and get back in it. This one is really, it's beyond that. And we're off. It's great to see the touching of gloves, the mutual respect at the start of the round. Razel, as you would expect, coming up a good double jab there from Andrew, who is actually, rather than simply covering up, he's looking to take things to Razel. He's buoyed by his chess and looking to even assert his dominance in the ring as well.
I think he's drawn blood, Razel, with that punch. I think there is blood now on Andrew's face.
It is
so
definitely
he's made a little bit of a wound there.
Streaming from the cheek, caught him with the left hook.
The guy likes pain. He's enjoyed it.
And a good right there from Razel. And Andrew responds in kind by bullying him into the corner and tugging a couple of rights to his to the rib there. And I'm loving how Andrew is growing into this boxing, actually. A good stiff jab there from Razel. But we need more than this today. It needs to be the power shots now for the knockout, knowing that the chess is going to be over sooner rather than later.
I mean, I don't think you're going to take down the Komodo dragon. Andrew with the white shorts, he's just too tough. I mean, look at him. He's just keeping his guard up. He's just got to survive. Can he win the boxing as well?
He's doing more than surviving. He is thriving. He's now, the first round I was a bit worried about the boxing, that he was just sitting back and soaking up. Oh, that's a solid right to the body. But he's not like, a good counter right.
Great punch. Right in the face, right in the chopper.
You love to see the counter punch there, Simon. When we think one man is on the back foot, suddenly he fires back, reminds the opponent that he's there. Good stiff right hand to the body. Andrew's looking tired. He's looking tired, but he's...
I think they're both looking tired here, but are we going to see the punch that ends the fight? I don't think we are. I think they need to get their shoulder into it. There's a lot of good punches coming in there from Razzle, but is it going to be a stopper? They're back.
And the bell goes. We are back to the chess, which, as we say, looks a little bit terminal for Brackett. Is there any way Razzle can string this out? How do you see this going?
I think the only way Razzle can survive if he plays instantaneous. I mean, just on the clock, but then he's got to survive the checkmate. I mean, he's got to cross his fingers and move quickly. I can't see him surviving the chess.
So
I think it'll be over.
He dropped the bishop back to defend against the check. It's White's move. I would consider moving that knight on e4, the central square, into the attack, or maybe even taking the bishop first. You could take the bishop with a knight on d5.
Checkmate, yeah. I think in this position, if he sees it, he could play queen, captures pawn, check. The queen comes with the two squares. The only way to really stop that checkmate
is with the bishop.
And then you take the bishop, get rid of the last defender, and it'll be checkmate in a matter of moves.
Yep. That really opens it up. That is pretty conclusive. You can take it with the queen. You can take it with that rook on f1 even. That is really pretty terminal there.
I think if White plays queen takes pawn, it's the end. I think it's the end.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here is really, it's a tale of coordination. Some White's pieces all pointed towards a common goal. The black king, black with that, the rook and the queen. We're back to the chess. Simon, we were saying...
Chess!
It's a check! It's a check, and it's a nasty check.
And this could be the end of the game. It could be checkmate in one move. Queen takes bishop is checkmate. If the white queen takes the black bishop, it's the end of the game. Will he find it? That'll be the end of the match. He's doing his hands.
I think Andrew knows. I think Andrew knows. He's reaching out.
He's gonna play it.
Checkmate! It's checkmate! What a game! What a performance!
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Chess. And look at that sportsmanship. That's great to see after the fight. Really good first fight. The first time in the ring. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
First time, it won't be the last time. Andrew the Kimono Dragon Hayworth. A great checkmate to end it. Great effort in the boxing ring from both of them. I would love to see it again another time.
Alrighty, we have a winner. Come to the referee, please, gents. Now in the battle of the newbies, both of them on their first chess boxing bout, the winner with an outstanding checkmate in the white corner was Andrew Horwath, the Kimono! What an amazing bout! Give it up for both our fighters, Andrew Horwath and Razzle Alam! Mr. Komodo, quick words. How are you feeling? Importantly, how is your head?
My head hurts. But yeah, I feel amazing. Thank you to everyone for coming along. It's been really, really fun.
Thank you to our winner and to both our fighters. We are going to move straight into our next bout of chess boxing. So thank you. Let's give them both a huge round of applause as they exit the ring. So we're going to set up
for the next one. Straight in, yeah.
Alright, how's everyone feeling? So we've had the battle of the newbies, and now in the next bout we have one of the most experienced chess boxers in the world. So, just gonna check if we need a bit of time.
How long do we need to set up? Well, we're good.
All right, I think we're good to get going. So I'm going to see how are the chess boxing virgins doing? Still with the high-pitched screams, I love it. How are the returnees doing? So deep. All right, so for your second bout of chess boxing, the first fighter to enter the ring is so tall that shorter people use him as a meeting point at parties. He has the craziest arms in world sport with a whopping 2-meter wingspan. I know, right? So he is known as the albatross of chess boxing. So make some noise for our very own big bird, Matt Crazy Arms Reed!
I didn't realise it really well. Yeah. It's a lot of fun as well. I didn't know Matt was fighting that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah.
Let's have a huge cheer for our Crazy Arms! Yes! Matt's got an amazing record. 15 wins, 8 large losses, no draws. Stands at 200 centimeters tall with a reach of 203 centimeters. Give it up for one more time for our white collar fighter, Matt Crazy Arms Reed! Oh, well, who is joining our experienced chess boxer in the ring? Well, this is another newbie. I know, it's one for you, virgins. So this fighter was an under-16 chess champion. Ooh! His arms are almost as long as the Crazy Arms, with a whopping 190 centimeters wingspan. And he's a teacher and the head of a maths department. Oh. So let's see if he can do some long division on our Crazy Arms here. In the black corner, weighing in at 84 kilograms, Dan the Wall. Alright, done! So he's got Chess Eater of 2094. We're going to see some spicy chess in this round. Give it up one more time for Down the wall! His boys supporters in. Let's give it up for both our fighters in this second bout. Matt, Crazy Arms Reed, and down the wall. Oh! Enjoy your bout, everyone.
You'll get B4. Yeah. He said he was outside of it. Always. I can't believe he had a cigarette. I guess, Dan's a very good chess player, so he might be ready for it. Yeah, it was supposed to be an exhibition, but they started hitting each other hard. People always happen. They were supposed to be just heavy sparring, but they're mates, and they didn't want to.
When it's meant to be an exhibition fight, and then he's like killed him.
I don't know. I've seen that.
That's the famous.
The first one?
No. That's the one where, spoilers, Apollo Creed dies.
I don't know, my favourite character is Mr. T. He's in one, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they are off. Two giants by stature, two very good. Oh, that's an unusual move, Simon. Right from the off from Matt there.
But we got to hear it. Chess. Come on. Chess. Let's hear it. Chess. 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 Chess.
So we were saying in the last match how it's about developing and controlling the center of the board. Matt Reed is doing this quite unconventionally, it's fair to say.
Yeah, the player with the white pieces, he starts the game. There's three parts to the game of chess. You have the opening, the middle game, and the end game. Now, there are 1,500 openings with different names. And the opening that Matt has played is called the orangutan. And they say that any opening named after an animal is complete rubbish. Basically. But he's doing all right. He's developed his bishop, and he's one of the most experienced chess boxers who's ever been here, I guess, who's ever taken part. I mean, he's had how many fights now?
40 fights now. I've had the pleasure of being in the ring with him a couple of times and come off worse.
Well, I have to say, Chris, I did actually arbit the fight you had with him. So the person next to me here, Chris, has already fought against Matt. And did you win?
Eventually, but after being under a lot of pressure from Matt, it's fair to say. And Dan is a very good player, and he's developing classically. He's occupying the center with the pawns, controlling it with the pieces. An attack on the knight, though, there from Matt.
I have to say, I really like White's last move. And now that pawn, it came up in the middle, and the chessboard is gone. Oh, no. There could be riots here if we don't get the chessboard back. So, riots in the room. Okay, so...
And we're back. We're back with the chess, Simon. It's what everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to see the chess. What's Dan going to do? Oh, he moves that knight into the center. Doesn't want it swapped off there by the bishop, perhaps.
I'd say both these players, very, very good chess players. Dan has a very high rating. Put him in one of the elite classes in chess. And I love his last move. Remember, the center of the board is very important, and he's put his knight right into the center. He's developing his pieces, moving his bishop. Now, we could have an exchange of pieces. Matt could go knight takes knight. The knight moves in an L shape, but then black will take the knight back. So it'd be, the knight is 3 points. 3 points to 3 points there.
It's a fair exchange, but what I like about black's position here is everything is geared towards control of that 1 point. All his pieces in support of that knight right in the center of the board there. He's really made that a strong point, and now he's just dropped the bishop back from the threat from the knight and left the knight looking maybe a little bit silly at the side of the board there. Knights on the rim are dim, they say, Simon.
That's right. If you put a knight on the side of the board, they say it's a very bad place to put the knight. Don't put your knights on the side. Knights on the rim are dim. A little chess rhyme there.
That's one to take away. Let's see how Matt is going to... Actually, no, it's Dan's move now.
Yeah, both players playing very good chess at the moment. I can see this being a very long game of chess. He's taken a piece. First battle. White captures back, and the other knight comes in. This is very aggressive play from Dan. Black is going on the attack. Now, if it was Black's move, the knight would take the queen. So you have another capture. 2 more pieces come off. But it's still equal. They've still got the same amount of points in the position.
Same amount of points, but look how the pieces are distributed. Look how well coordinated Blacks are, all towards the same goal. We're talking about that knight on the rim not being best positioned. Now Matt has to worry about defending it. Simon, very interesting opening round there. Matt playing the orangutan opening that he is renowned for. Unconventional, not often seen at the highest level. Psychologically a great tactic. However, he's certainly, to my mind, I don't know what you think, but he's come out of that opening round quite a lot worse there, I think, looking at how the pieces are distributed.
Yeah, I think if we look at the chessboard now, if you can see the chessboard, actually Matt is in a lot of trouble because the white knight on the side of the board, the queen can take it. And there's no easy way for white to save that knight. Whatever happens, that knight is in trouble. You can maybe guard it with a pawn, but then your king side disappears. So I think Matt has to, again, he has to get the advantage in the boxing now. Really must come out punching hard.
Yep, and it's interesting to see that Matt, tall, thin. This is the first time I've seen him against someone with the same stature. So I wonder how he will react to maybe not having his natural advantages that he normally has in the box. As you say, he can defend that knight with the pawn in front of his king, but he's then going to lose his h-pawn on the other file, let the bishop in, and really he's going to be subject to a very strong attack.
I mean, the boxing is going to be so interesting because, like you say, they've got very long reach, but I think Matt, very experienced at this, he really must throw some very hard punches here. I know that Matt has broken someone's jaw in this before.
That he has. He may not look the most muscular and powerful, but he's really worked on his technique. He's a very canny operator. He'll know he's in trouble in the chess, and he'll know what he has to do here in the boxing.
He's going to come out boxing straight away, come out fighting hard.
Pumping, both of them aiming to establish the jab, which is really often what you see where they're both looking for supremacy. Dan firing it back as well, landing a good couple of square jabs. Actually, they're both really pumping away with the left hand there.
Yeah, I mean, they're both using their jab a lot, aren't they? I mean, I think they've got to start getting some combinations going in this.
Well, if you're Matt especially, I think, given the chess situation. And there you go. Matt's the first one to unload the right hand. He missed with the power shot there, but he's clearly looking for it. He's looking busy and looking to set that up. And his coach in the corner.
He misses. Oh, my words. That was a great punch by Dan, but why didn't he follow through there? He got a good couple of punches to the head. He maybe had a chance of a knockout there. I have to say, Dan's been very impressive. His first ever boxing fight.
A first timer taking on someone so experienced. He's looking good on both the boxing and the chess. We could be witnessing the birth of a chess boxing superstar here in front of us, Simon.
Well, yeah, I mean, for his first fight, it's extremely impressive. But now Matt's getting a couple of punches in. And I think Dan is dropping his guard a little bit too much. He's leaving his head very open. I mean, Dan has got to get that guard up.
Matt is landing with a jab, but he's not putting together the combinations. He needs the power shot. You're not going to knock someone out with that kind of left-hand jab. It's going to have to be bringing that right hand that he's keeping a little bit too holstered for Mike. That's a good...
Look at that reach. He's getting... Punch! What a punch there! What a great punch from Dan. There's a chance here. He's got to keep going. Brilliant boxing there.
Countered Matt there. Matt got excited about landing a combination and started opening up himself and left himself wide open. It's settled down a bit now.
Match, doesn't it, here, Chris? Really good boxing.
In the boxing, I would find it hard to score this either way. The ring's gone. A touch of gloves for the respect now. And now Matt's mind is already turning to the difficult problem of how to hold his position together. Looking at it, maybe you can play the pawn in front of your king forward 1, keep the knight there. Obviously then when the bishop comes in and takes the pawn, you have to deal with a threat against the rook. But you can maybe bring the knight back to g2, the square in front of the king. Try and stick the knight on f4, solidify things, but really, this is a very, very hard position to play as white.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually very surprised just how well Dan fought in the boxing there. Let's remember that was Dan's first ever boxing fight, and Matt's had 40 fights, something crazy. But if we look at the chess position, the white knight, knights on the rim are dim. You said it, Chris. That white knight on the side of the board is terrible. It's so bad. And the only way to guard that, as you mentioned, is with a pawn. But you move that pawn and your whole king side falls apart. So it's looking very bad for Matt in the chess. But let's see, they both had a couple of punches. Maybe their level of chess is going to go down now.
Yeah, so one thing that Dan has not had, obviously, is the experience of going live from the boxing to the chess. And yes, his position may be very strong, but can he press it home when he's got all that kind of adrenaline coursing? Simon, we are back. What a round of boxing. A difficult position for Matt Reed here in the chess with the white pieces.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, amazing round of boxing. Like Dan, his first ever fight came out brilliantly. But now it's to the chess. Are we going to hear it for the chess? There we go. And we see Black taking a pawn with his bishop. It looks like a very good position for the black pieces. Look at the white king. There's the black bishop hovering around there like a bad smell. And he's bringing the queen in. He's bringing it in for the kill. The queen is getting nearer that white king, Chris. Looks dangerous.
It's very well coordinated from Dan. As you say, he took a pawn, but more than that, his pieces are swarming around the white king. Matt played really the only move there, the knight back, both to defend, well, both to save it, but also to try and defend the king. But look at the white squares around the white king. It's almost like a Swiss cheese type position there, all those holes.
And we see that Dan has just won a pawn there. The queen swinging to the other side of the board. So now Black is points up in the chess. But it's not about points, it's about getting to the opponent's king. And I think what Black should be doing here is put the queen back near White's king. Go for the checkmate. Bring that queen back over to the other side of the board. Would he play it? No, I don't like that move. Too passive there. Where's he going with the queen? He's moving it too many times there, Chris.
Yeah, he's moved it somewhere in 2 moves where he could have moved it in 1 move. And now Matt's lining up that queen behind the bishop, and they're both pointing towards the black king. Matt's starting to come back into it, getting a little bit of play here. Dan starting to respond to his moves rather than force the pace himself.
Well, now Black should definitely capture that knight with the bishop. They're both worth 3 points, and he does play it. He captures the knight, and White captures back. We have some tactics on the board, but will Black get that queen near the white king? You can go for checkmate. Bring it nearer. What's he going to play?
Yes, what a move!
What a move there!
What a move!
He's threatening checkmate in 1 move. Oh! Apply.
Yes, I love that from Matt. Unflustered by the checkmate threat. He's pinning the queen with his own queen.
That's right. The black queen will now love to go and give checkmate. But you can't move the black queen because you're moving a check. But he's given check. That is a check. The pawn is attacking the white king. That's a check. And now the bishop gets rid of the check there. But the queens will be coming off the board. There's no way to avoid it. You can't move the black queen because you'd be putting the black king into check. So you have to swap the queens off here. And we're going to have an ending.
This is one for the aficionados, Simon. An ending when the queens come off, the tactical threats come out of the position. It becomes about technique. It's one for the true chess lovers in the crowd here.
The queens are off. They're all coming off.
So what's the material balance here? Who's on top?
At the moment, Black Dan is 2 pawns up. But it's a very tricky position. Look at White's rooks. White's rooks, which move in a straight line are attacking black's pawns. And I think next move, one of those rooks will come into the position. So I actually think Matt has done much better in this round of chess than he did in the first round. He's back in the game. This will now be a very long game of chess. There's not many pieces left here.
He's averted the immediate danger, and we've not talked about the time either. Dan has 3 minutes, Matt has 5. Matt Crazy Arms read there, using all his experience.
Very good comeback there from Matt in the chess. We're going to go to the boxing. It was so interesting last round, and very good boxing from both sides there. And I expect the same again now, Chris. I mean, there could even be a knockout here. It was very close in the last round.
There was a time when both of them looked rocked. But really, let's take a moment to pay homage to the experience of Matt Reader. At the start of that round, he was a pawn down. He had the pieces swarming around his king. Dan maybe didn't press it. Dan got distracted by that extra pawn on the queen side. Maybe a little bit greedy, thought I'll have that, when probably he should have pressed home the advantage around the king. And now Matt, okay, objectively he has the worst position because he's 2 pawns down. But he has the piece activity, and another factor for the real chess aficionados here. Those 2 bishops are of the opposite colours, which in certain circumstances can be tending towards a draw as well. So he's given himself real chances there.
I totally agree, yeah. I mean, the chess position is actually quite unclear now. I think both sides have chances, yes. Of course, black has the better position. But, you know, it's not as bad as it was. I think it's right back in the game for Matt. But I'm really excited about this boxing round.
Definitely. Let's see if Matt can carry the momentum into it after swinging things back in the chess. It starts off in a very similar manner to the first one. They're both pumping out that long left jab, trying to establish the supremacy. Dan is going for the right to the body, a little bit more variation from him. Matt is looking very busy. Look at how he's really pumping out that left. 2, 3, sometimes even 4 times in one. A great left hook there from Dan to start. Oh, but then a combination back from Matt. I'm really liking this back and forth action from 2 big men here who normally you don't see, with this volume of punch output.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I don't think Matt's ever fought anyone his length, the jab. He's got a very long jab as well, and he's finding that a little bit hard because he just can't keep Matt at distance. And also, when you're fighting someone so tall, maybe you just get in towards them, get in under their defences.
That's
true. I can see Dan's the more aggressive boxer at the moment.
We're not seeing much close-up action. They're both, because they're tall and they're both using to fighting shorter fighters, they're both staying at distance and looking for those straight punches. What I might like to see maybe Dan try is working his way a little bit more in behind that jab and then unloading towards the body. A good stiff jab there for Matt. This is another very even round, I have to say. This is high-quality chess boxing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they seem very evenly matched here. I mean, you can see they're not really getting any combinations going. They're both just going for jabs at the moment, trying to keep a little bit of distance. I think this could be decided in the chess for that reason. That's a great punch, though. Great punch.
I think it could be decided on the chess, and I think it could be going deep on the chess, looking at the position as well. We could be, Matt narrowly missing with,
another great punch.
Good left hook there from Dan. Tries following up with another one, but missed. Matt looking at it, and we are back to the chess. Another great round of back and forth there. And we're back to a much more evenly balanced chess here as well, Simon. And Matt with those open lines as well. We could potentially see some rook penetration to the 7th. And I don't know about you, but at 8:15 on a Saturday evening, I love seeing some penetration, Simon.
Well, it might be a little bit early for penetration on Saturday night. I mean, that often happens later in the day. But
we're in North London, Simon. It's quite liberal up here.
I guess that's true. I mean, I don't know North London so well, but is it good for penetration on the 7th rank?
Anything goes, but as we to come back seriously to the point, those 2 rooks on open files swooping down. Okay, the pawns are there. They could hoover up those pawns.
You can see Dan. Look at him. He's actually looking at the chessboard. He's already trying to work out his next move. But the thing is, I'm very surprised just how well Matt did in that last round of chess. Because look at the time. He's got 2 minutes, 2-minute advantage, and he's got the initiative here. So actually Dan now has to play much quicker, and he needs to defend. I don't think he can defend those pawns. It's impossible.
Psychologically, it's very difficult. And you'll have been in a situation where you've had a better position that you know objectively you should be winning, and then you've let your opponent back. It's quite hard to readjust. So Simon, we're back, and we're into an end game situation here. Black has a couple of extra pawns, but White has some quite serious activity here.
We're back into the chess. Come on, chess, let's do it. So now the White Rook can come down and take that pawn, and he's played it. The White Rook's come in.
And that is a great position for the Rook on what we call the 7th rank there. You know, it exerts a lot of influence. You can see it swoops across towards the other pawns on the king side. White's dream scenario here is to get that other Rook as well on the 7th. That could spell some quite serious trouble if that ever happens.
Yeah, and now Black is going for a counterattack, but this could backfire. White can bring his other Rook up 2 squares and capture that pawn. And he's played it. And this is looking now very good for Matt on the chessboard. If Matt can move that Rook 1 square forwards, he's going to have a very strong attack. And I'm not sure what Dan's going to do. He's only got 2 minutes, 10 seconds left. Is he going to come in with a check? He's coming, he's captured a pawn. But now put the Rook up 1 square, Matt. 1 square, here we go.
Oh, he's done it!
It's a great
He has done it! Double Rook penetration, Simon! Double Rook penetration.
Penetration on the 7th, always a good idea. And the problem here is that White Rook can come near the Black King. Now Matt has at least a draw on the chessboard. Look at that Rook coming in with a check. Check! The King runs away. And that's a great defensive idea now. He's brought the Bishop back to defend.
That was very crafty from Dan. He knew he was going to be in trouble from that penetration, so took defensive measures.
Very clever. It's still in the balance. It's equal material on the board. Matt has an extra 2 minutes on the clock. He's brought his Rook 1 square. Now Black might be able to bring in with a check. And this is now very dangerous. The Bishop comes in. There is
my word.
checkmate threat on the board. The Black Rook, if it was Black to play, would come near the White King and give checkmate. And it's checkmate in 1 move.
He's not seen it. He has not seen it.
Dan can checkmate. 1 move. The Rook comes in. The Rook checks it.
Man knows it. He knows it. It's going to happen. Here it comes.
Hang on a minute.
Here it comes. Checkmate. Checkmate. Oh my word. How did that happen?
What a turnaround that was. Amazing turnaround. That's a great...
What a fight, Simon. What about?
I'd say very impressed with Dan's boxing and chess there. Really good play. Really good play for both sides.
Okay, what an amazing bout of chess boxing. We have a winner. What? I told you this was going to be spicy, this one. So, from the black corner, give it up for our winner, Dan Warhol, with checkmate. Let's make some noise for both our fighters. That was a nice and spicy bout of chess boxing. Dallas, grab a quick word. How are you feeling on your first chess boxing fight?
What's the Liverpool score?
I don't know what the Liverpool score is. I'm sure you can find out later. Give it up for both our chess boxers! Matt Reed and Dan Warhol! Thank you very much. So, we are going to take a 10-minute break so you can recharge your glasses. Also, our lovely Berserker is available should anyone want to put body paint on his body. Where are you, Berserker? Berserker! Berserker! Are you available to be painted? Okay, if you want to paint the Berserker and take a selfie or whatever with him, he's available. Go find him, decorate his body. We'll see you back in 10 minutes! Oh yeah, I like that one. Some good tones, some good levels. Very nice. So, next up we have another battle of some chess boxing newbies. Ooh. Yes, indeed. So our first fighter into the ring is a chess tutor from Bedford. Wasn't that nice? Oh, very nice. He was nicknamed Spice Boy at university after Posh Spice because he can't hold a note and never smiles. So I think that calls for a bit of a zig-a-zig. Here we go. Can I get a zig-a-zig? Let's try this side. Can I get a zig-a-zig? Can I get a zig-a-zig? Alright, let's bring him into the ring. In the white corner, weighing in at 89 kilograms, James Spice Boy Colligan. Of 1800. He stands at 180 centimeters, and one of his main hobbies is the sesh, as I think you can tell from his entrance. So let's make some noise one more time for our Spice Boy! Alright, let's find out who's joining him in the ring. Another newbie, as I mentioned, and another person who does education. We have a primary school teacher. Aww. And he's from St. Albans. Anyone else from St. Albans in? One person. When our next fighter's not teaching, he has his own YouTube channel. A YouTuber, everyone. So let's give him a big welcome. In the black corner, weighing in at 82 kilograms, Andrew, the Pawn Slayer Smith! Make some noise! Standing at 178 centimeters with a chest ELO of 1750. Let's see what happens with this battle of the newbie educated. Give it up one more time for James Colligan and Andrew Smith!
first jab for James.
And we are back again, Simon. 2 great games of chess. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to unfold.
Definitely. I mean, we're back to the chess. It's been great matches so far, and they're copying each other at the moment. Copycat variation. We don't want that, do we?
Blitzing it out. This is a favourite of yours, I believe. The English opening, Simon.
It is. James with the white pieces is playing what's called the English opening, one of those 1,500 openings. And they're both very good chess players here. Very high standard, and they're playing extremely quickly at the moment. Quite an equal position, I think. Really
have been blitzing it out. Andrew pausing before pushing forward that queen's pawn a couple of squares there. They've broken the symmetry in the copycat now.
They have. Well, here it could go back to a symmetrical position, meaning you put a mirror in the middle of the board and it copies the position. So very equal, as it's a basically symmetrical position here. It could come down to the boxing. Who's going to be a better boxer, do we feel here?
I mean, they're both first-timers on, and fascinated to see how this one unfolds, but they're really blitzing out the moves here. You think back to the last couple, they were really thinking quite quickly, but these guys are already a good few moves into the game here, and they've not even used a minute on their clock yet, Simon.
Yeah, moving very, very quickly, which is a good sign. Maybe a little bit of nerves. First time, must be very scary getting in that ring. I mean, you've been in the ring, haven't you, before? So were you scared the first time?
Oh, petrified, Simon. Petrified to be in the ring. I'd much rather be this side of things, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, back to the chess. I mean, like, it does seem, again, very even. I think here Black should move his knight, the horsey. He can move it in an L shape to attack the bishop. Maybe giving up a pawn in the center, but it looks like a very interesting move. And nothing really between these two players at the moment. Okay, he's brought his bishop out, and now the queen comes out threatening the pawn. The king defends the pawn over there, and the knight comes in. White, I prefer White's position very, very slightly here. But there's nothing to give between the two players.
Because it's so symmetrical, then that having that first move that White has does give him the slight advantage. And Andrew is stopping again, having a little bit of a thing, which I think is wise. You need to work out your plans here. They both developed well, got the pieces out, got their king safe. Now it's about working out the foundations for the rest of the game. I think it's wise to stop here and plan.
Yeah, I mean, don't think too long, though. You've got to make a move. I mean, I would just push the black queen forwards 1 square. Connect the rooks. Get the rooks saying hello to each other there. Maybe you could push... What's he doing? He has. Good move.
He's done exactly what you suggested there.
Must be a good move then.
Oh, absolutely, Simon. Time well invested. These are 2 high quality and well matched players here. I think this one could go a good few rounds if the boxing is matched evenly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're getting the boxing, I think, very soon. But in the chess, there's not really much between these 2 players. It'll be a very long chess match. I can see this going 3-4 rounds if they can keep their energy up for the boxing. But the thing is, again, when you get hit in the head, you start making mistakes.
Everyone has a plan, Simon, till they get punched in the face.
Thank you, Tyson, for that. Yeah. It's a great quote. I love it. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face. So, again, they're playing very sensible moves here. If I was White, okay, he takes the bishop, the first capture of the game. We have an exchange, but not much has changed. Black now has a pawn in a more central position, but White has 2 bishops. And 2 bishops is supposed to be better than a bishop and a knight. They're into the boxing.
Simon, that was a fascinating opening there. They both were very confident, blitzing out that copycat variation. As you say, now some imbalances have crept in towards the end of the round, and chess is all about, some would say, about imbalances. So talk us through what we've got here now on the board?
Well, look at the chessboard. It is very equal. Black has 2 pawns in the centre compared to White's 1 pawn. But the thing is, the pawn that's at the bottom of the board is a bit of a weakness. So you can see White's rook is lined up against that pawn. So I think White is a little bit better here.
Yeah.
Maybe White should start pushing Harry the H-pawn here.
Yeah, because the other thing about that pawn coming towards the centre is it takes it away from the defence of that other pawn there on what we call the G6 square, the one so that the king is tucked behind diagonally. So that looks like it could be a little bit of a soft, tender spot if White can arrange his pieces in the right way there. So yeah, pushing forward your favourite Harry H pawn, 1, maybe 2 squares to soften that up. Could be a great plan there for White.
I think so. White has a light square bishop. Black doesn't have a light square bishop. So you want to open up the light squares, get your bishop into the game. And you can do that by pushing Harry. But the boxing, I mean, I have to say, they're both first-time boxing. They must be so nervous. I mean, when you get in the ring, I mean, you just got to get into it. I mean, you don't box the way you're trained, do you? All that adrenaline going through your body. You've got to calm down and just play with the technique you've learned.
I mean, at that point, hopefully the muscle memory kicks in. But you can see they're both pumped for this. Bell goes.
The first jab from Andrew. And it looks to me like James...
Oh, already firing the right hand
It
there.
looks like James is more of a gentleman boxer with that old-style kind of... old-style... Oh, look, you've got to throw a punch, though. Come on, James, get a
There
punch
is
in.
definitely that dancing, the high hands.
I love it. I do love that dancing around the ring there. He's on his back feet. Get a punch in. No, oh, hello.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, we're in.
There we are.
Couple of punches straight in. He's holding. He's holding.
Referee Ronaldo Dominguez goes to break them up there. But yeah, that Victorian style from there. You can imagine wearing a pair of breeches, calling out, "Have at you, sir." Yeah.
I can indeed. And apparently the old school boxing style was, because it was bare knuckle boxing, and you did less punches towards the head. Because when you've got gloves on, you save your fist. But in bare knuckle boxing, you don't want to hit the head as much.
Oh, and again
great punches from Andrew there. Great punches.
James ate that one well, though. Boxing is as much about the chin and how you can take a punch. The whiskers, we say. James looks to have good whiskers on him from the couple that he's eaten already.
I mean, he's guarding up well, and I do like his guard.
A good high right hand there.
Yeah, and he's got to get his shoulder into the punches, though. When he punches, get the shoulder. Here he goes. He's getting some punches in there.
You can see it's taking its toll. Like, you can look, James is breathing quite heavily through the mouth there. It's such a tough, physical, demanding sport.
Oh, it is.
This
I mean,
one.
You do 30 seconds of boxing. It's the most intense 30 seconds you can imagine. It might look easy watching, but when you're actually in the ring, it's incredibly tough.
Simon, I would say, from experience, I have never had a more intense 30 seconds.
I mean, I've had some intense 30 seconds in my life, but not in this way, with the two men half naked in a ring. So, yeah.
Well, you know, as I say, it's a Saturday night in North London. Anything goes. And it's the end. A nod of appreciation between the two of them there. And it's back to this. So we were talking about how we like the white position. Now let's look at it from the black side. So one thing I do like the look of is that knight, the more retreated knight. F5 looks a great square. So knight e7 to f5. Got great support from the two pawns. That knight there would then defend the pawn in front of the king, would also attack one of those bishops and potentially threaten to get rid of that bishop square. So yeah, black does have some trumps here as well.
I mean, that's a great move, moving the black knight into the game. You'll be threatening white's central pawn. So if he finds that move, I think it'll be, still I like white, but white's got to go in defensive for a move.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping now we're going to see a high quality game of chess, because this is the first time they've come into chess after being punched in the face. So, yeah. I love the Icelandic berserker, don't you?
I think many sports would be enhanced by the presence of a berserker. And we were saying off air, regular chess itself, I think it would really bring a little bit of the razzmatazz that the game can sometimes see. So we're back to the chess. Simon, we were just saying it's very interesting. Maybe we like white a bit more, but it's a little bit unbalanced. It could go either way, this one.
Yeah, very equal position. We're back into the chess. And I think there's not much between them, but we can see they've slowed down the pace. James taking a little bit of a time to adjust to the new situation. This is the first time both of these players have been in the ring, and there's a lot of respect for that, just getting in the ring. That's a great move by Andrew there, moving the knight and attacking White's pawn in the center of the board. Can James defend that pawn? Well, maybe he just brings a rook into the middle.
Yeah, he's done exactly that. Rooks belong on open files. And there you can see it swooping down that open, we call it the C file, the one that's the third in from the left there. This is really a fascinating position that both players have their trumps here, Simon. It could go either way.
Yeah, I think very equal at the moment. And looking at the time, James has a little time advantage, but they've both got 5 minutes left, so it's too close to call. And now if White recaptures this with the pawn, pawns take diagonally, it's again a symmetrical position. So he's taken with the queen, keeping it a little bit more interesting there. The queen is on an open file, but again, it's a very equal position, the most equal position we've seen so far. I think it could come down to the clock here.
It could come down to the clock, and James is slightly ahead, but Andrew is no slouch here whatsoever. This is a high quality game. Both players jockeying for position here.
Yeah, definitely, and it's who's gonna hold their nerve the best. I want to see some tactics. I want to see them going a bit more towards the king. Okay, there's a break in the center. Very interesting move. Now White can take that pawn. Pawn takes pawn, but Black will take that back. He has taken the pawn, and now Black's taken that pawn back. Now if the White queen takes that knight, you will lose your queen, because the bishop would take the queen. But maybe White could take another pawn here. You have to be very careful. Okay, he's brought his knight into the position. A good move.
This really opened the position up now. It's very free play in the middle. It's the equivalent on Champions League night. It's the equivalent of an open midfield. They can basically both... and that pawn's been pushed forward.
Very aggressive game by Andrew. Now, I don't think I've ever seen in one of these events a pawn getting to the other end of the board. If you get your little soldier, which is the pawn, it's like your foot soldier in a battle. If you get it to the other side of the board, it becomes a queen. Can he push it again? Maybe he can push it again here.
Simon, you always have to take care of your little soldier, and certainly Andrew is doing that here.
Little soldier or big soldier, Chris?
Little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
very much so.
clarifying that one.
Now, that said, James, although he doesn't have a little soldier, does have
How do you know that?
He has a very well-placed queen that is swooping down towards the king there, and has the knight in support of it as well. Both players have their trumps here.
Well, if I was Black, I would push the little soldier again. Push it one square forwards. But he has wasted so much time thinking about this move. Just keep an eye on the clock. Not sure about that move there, because now the White queen can take that pawn, Chris, which you mentioned. I mean, maybe you could also push the H-pawn, harry our friend the H-pawn. But if I was White, I'd go queen takes pawn. He's gone for it. He's taken the pawn. First blood to James.
And now we could see the queen exchange as before, which will lead us towards a slightly longer game. I think if I was Andrew, I'd maybe swap off here, but...
Back to the boxing.
And he's done it. He's swapped. Simon. So Simon, what do we think of this endgame position? White, a pawn up, but I have to say Black's pieces look wonderfully coordinated here.
I think Black actually got the better of that last round, really, because even now the bishop takes the queen. Black has some very good moves. For example, the Black rook could come and attack the bishop and then take a pawn back. But it's that Black pawn in the middle of the board. That Black pawn, it's so dangerous for White. And when you've been hit in the head, it's very hard to deal with these things.
That pawn, dangerous, supported by the knight. I mean, if you can just imagine it moving forward too, then it gives the rooks a good forking. A fork being where two pieces are attacked at the same time when you struggle to save it. So I think when we come back to the chess, Andrew's certainly on top on the board, but James with a few more minutes. But first of all, let's see how they go again in the ring after that.
I think it's going to be a very interesting round of boxing here. I mean, both sides, first time in the ring, they did brilliantly, but who's going to get the killer punch in, we feel?
And I wonder, will we see something end in the ring rather than on the board?
I do love James' guard. He does remind me, like we said, of one of those old English gentlemen. A gentleman boxer, and he seems a gentleman all round there. He darts in, a little dance, a little punch, but they're getting involved. Oh,
and a big right just missed there from Andrew. That was a matter of inches away. I do like this style for names. You can imagine him in a sort of 19th century gin palace having an illegal fight in like a ring scratched outside of the gin palace, and a few gentlemen wagering guineas on him, maybe.
And then maybe a nice little game of chess afterwards, something
exactly.
like that to calm down with. And
a good right there from Andrew.
James does seem to have a very solid jaw, with his gentleman style of boxing. He's look at him skip around the ring there. A little bit of Muhammad Ali there.
I bet exactly the old shuffle. Now Simon, let's say you have a few guineas, hypothetical guineas in your pocket. Where would you put them right now?
Well, I have to say, Andrew seems to have the biggest stat. He seems very rock solid. Very, very solid stance. I can't see James knocking him down. But saying that, James can take a punch, and he's got the more energy. He's dancing around a little bit more. So I think it's fairly matched here. I think we could see a result in the chess again, possibly.
This is definitely tending towards the chess. I think James... obviously your mind's not on it whilst you're in the ring, but I think...
great
that's a great arrow right there. Brings a counter left from Andrew, but that's what you want to see from James. A bit more the power punching. We've seen that he can take a punch, but it's great to see him give it right back.
You can see the energy's going a little bit, and one of the things of boxing, as you're very aware, because you've been in the ring, you've been doing this, is the energy and just the stamina to keep going. And I'm now worried both boxers are looking a little bit tired, but James is still going for it. Okay, we're back to the chess.
End of the round there. And you're saying that how tired they were. Yes, it's a factor in boxing, but I think also it's very much a factor in the chess. With physical fatigue, the mental fatigue really does come back in. And we saw that in the last bout, right? We saw how Matt Crazy Arms Reed turned it around, had those 2 rooks on the 7th, looked like he was really on top. And that physical fatigue, I think, is what made him miss that checkmate. And Andrew has to be really careful here that he doesn't, overlook something like that himself.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, the physical effort here, you've got to change it now into the mental way of thinking. It's so hard to adjust now, use that mind. I mean, White has to take the queen here, that's clear. The White Bishop has to take the queen. And then we're going to see what Andrew plays. But I think looking at the clock here, the problem is Andrew's got 3 minutes. So he could be, after this round, in real big trouble. He's got to move quicker here.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of a round, you want to stabilize a little bit and clear your head, and he's not got the luxury for that. But yeah, really a lovely position for Black here. The crowd responding now to the Berserker. I'd say this crowd are here more for the chess than the boxing, Simon. What do you think?
Well, they are cheering for the chess a lot more, it seems, so they're getting very into the chess. And I think they're ready to start. So we're back with the chess, and James has just taken the queen back. Still a very equal position, but I think the important thing is that Andrew, with the black pieces, has got to keep an eye on his clock, because look at that time ticking down. He's under 3 minutes, and he's still not moving. He's turned into a statue. A punch to the head might have confused him a little bit there.
He's taking his time to, clear his head, reassess the position. Yes, the clock doesn't look good, but he has that pawn in the... Oh!
I like that move.
Yes.
He's threatening to take the bishop. If the bishop moves, the black rook will come flying down and take White's pawn. So it's a very good move, and James should just move the bishop and not think too much, or he has done. He's moved the bishop back, and now I expect the black rook to come down and take that pawn. He's just got to move that rook, but he's got to play quicker. It's quite an obvious move. He should not be thinking about this move. Save your time for another moment. Is he going to play it? He's spending too much time here. Far too much time. He's played it. He's played the right move.
Simon, let's talk about pawn. I love that black pawn in the middle of the board there. What potential does it have?
Well, again, if you get a pawn to the other end of the board, you get a queen back, and the queen is the most powerful piece. So black here could, of course, try pushing the pawn. I mean, what should white do now? White can bring his rook up the board. Is he going to do that? He's going for exchanges. It's still very close. It's equal on points. They've both got the same amount of points here. So there's still not much between them except for the clock. Andrew now under 2 minutes on the clock. If your time gets to 0, it doesn't matter about anything else, you lose. So he's got to move. We have an exchange of rooks. Oh, what a move! The knight has come in. A brilliant move there. And he's given a check. He's taking the rook. What an idea from Andrew there. He's now gone points up. Andrew is 2 points up on the board. But he's got to watch his clock. He's got to move. Very good play from Andrew.
Fork me, Simon. That was
a good move, wasn't it?
That was. This is now serious trouble for James Corrigan. Can he see this out? Get another round of boxing? This is a tough position.
When you attack 2 pieces with one move, it's called a fork. Like a fork, you know, when you eat with a fork, it has a couple of prongs.
Got the 2 prongs, yep.
So he's done that. So now Andrew has the better position. He's got more points, but still, it's not that bad for James. James has a very big threat. Bishop takes pawn. He can now do that and give a check. Bishop takes pawn check. And we can see Andrew shaking his head there, not happy with his last move.
He's taken pawn. Oh, this is getting spicy now, Simon.
It is. James with 4 minutes, under 4 minutes, but Andrew under a minute. That is a check. The bishop is attacking the black king. That's a check. He's got to move the king. Where's he going to move the king? He's moved it away. And he's changed his mind.
He's got less than 50 seconds. And another check. A barrage of checks here.
2 checks in a row from James there. And he's come back. He can't be going for these kind of checks. If you repeat the position, okay, he's going for the win, James there. He's played a different move. Again, 30 seconds left. That's no time at all there.
Andrew really needs to be moving a lot quicker than this. His time is dangerously short.
Oh, he changed his mind.
Simon, who would you rather be here? Would you rather have that extra exchange that black has, albeit for a pawn now, or would you rather have the extra 3 minutes on your clock?
Well, I'd definitely rather be white in the position. I mean, even on the chessboard, I don't think white's doing that badly. His knight is very strong. The bishop is very good. Yes, black has the extra rook, but he can't really do anything with that rook. But it's all about the clock. I mean, Andrew, 25 seconds. He can only get a couple of moves in with that time.
I would be looking to simplify this and get pieces off the board. I might even at some point, if I was black, look to exchange that rook for the knight and say, okay, I'll enter a position, a pawn down, but I'll ruin the white pawn structure. I'll have the opposite coloured bishops, get the hell out of this and try not to lose on time. Because really, this is not the time to do anything with 25 seconds. And as you said, the white position, everything covers itself, very well coordinated. There's nothing that's loose or undefended. Great stuff from Corrigan to play on there, I would say.
I agree as well. I mean, you know, they both showed a lack of energy in the boxing, and I think it's going to be, well, of course it's going to be harder in this round. I don't expect a knockout here, but if, you know, they've got to go for it. They've got to get in there.
So certainly coming out with a bit more energy after the chess round in between. Andrew still with that bouncy style that we so enjoyed.
He does remind me of Tigger. Remember Tigger bouncing around with all that energy?
Yeah.
The poo. He's like, you know, he's got that. Oh, they're in. They're in with some punches. Andrew.
Oh, big right there from Andrew. But James has ate that one up and walked through it. He ate that one up as if it was his dinner, to be honest.
to say, James is doing so well. He's been punched, and he hasn't really blinked at all. He's just sucking up those punches.
Yeah, and he just kept coming.
I mean, Andrew looking like a stronger stance, really, but he's not doing any damage to James.
This is again one I think that we're going to see decided on the ball. Oh, a good left there from Andrew. But James really just walking straight through it.
Oh, look at this.
You love to see this exchange. You love to see the back and forth there, Simon.
And remember, we feel if James can survive this round of boxing, he's probably got it on the chessboard.
Purely by virtue of the clock there.
Yeah, just look at the time.
3 extra minutes, it's all the difference. They're both taking I would call that a mutually agreed breather there. Both of them stepping off for a little bit, sucking in the rarefied air here in the Boston Dome. Before...
He's going in with a sucker punches there. But I mean, you've got to get your shoulder into those punches a bit more, twist it in a little bit.
Exactly. It's boxing. It's not about the arm. It's really about the body and the momentum behind it. All from the back. The weight transfer from the back foot. The least important thing in a way is the arm. They're both wailing away.
Two sluggers who are very tired, and they're both going. Look at this. It's again quite intense now. Back to the chess.
Back to the chess. Indeed. James's corner man there giving him a good nod of encouragement. Love to see the heart from both of these guys here. Two first timers giving their all.
I think just the heart they're showing, Chris, is like incredible. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's their first time in the ring. Yeah, okay, they're not the best boxers, but they're really just giving it everything they've got. And it's really impressive to see, They can only get better with the boxing. But what is Andrew going to do with his time here, Chris? How's he going to survive?
I would just look to get it as simple as possible. I genuinely would think about just exchanging that rook for the knight. Centralize. I mean, obviously the king becomes a way more powerful piece in the end game. So exchange off, walk the king towards the middle, and just try and hold the position for a draw. Because there's no time to do anything else if you're black, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got to move. This is the only thing. It doesn't really matter what black plays, but he's got to move. 25 seconds. I mean, I have to predict he's just going to lose on time here. That's the only thing I can see.
So the problem black has is activating his king. He can't move it forward 1 square to the left because the bishop covers it. If he moves it 1 square forward, there's a nasty little tactic there where the bishop can skewer, as we say, the rook. So the problem is activating that king for black. So if he moves too quickly and doesn't see that back to the chess, what a round of boxing there. Andrew has barely 20 seconds left on the chess.
Well, he's really speeding up here. He's got 24 seconds, and he's doing the right thing. He's playing instantaneous. This is all down to the clock. 22, and he's done the right thing. He's speeding up a lot. Look at the way they're playing now. It doesn't even matter what they move. They just got to move quickly here. 20 seconds. Can James win on time in this round? He's taken another pawn, and he's now 2 pawns up. White should be winning this position.
Should be winning, and James can afford to take time here. He's got 3 minutes to Andrew's 15. He can stop. He's pushing his own pawn forward. We were enjoying the pawn earlier. Now look at White's pawn forging its way forward, about to turn into a queen.
We're going to see a pawn come into a queen. It's a queen. He has a queen on the board, and Andrew with 8 seconds left. This is a lost position for black. He's got to get to the boxing somehow.
But he doesn't have the time. He's got 5 seconds. This is over.
4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
0.
And game over. A win on time, but clearly White was winning on the board there, Simon.
Yeah, very well played from both players. Really good playing. James taking it in the chest there, but for their first time ever, very impressive. Very brave to just get in the ring. Yeah.
Alright, wait for the ref! Wait for the ref! The winner is White. Yeah. So, we are giving it up for our winner, defaulted on time, unfortunately, but our winner is, in the white corner, James Corrigan! Give it up for both our fighters, both first-timers, both educators. Well done to both our chess boxers! And James, how are you feeling, James?
Tip bloody top.
Tip bloody top from the horse's mouth itself. And let's give him one more huge round of applause. And we are going to take another quick break so you can recharge your glasses. And if anyone wants to paint the berserker, he's going to be making his way around the crowd. Feel free to decorate him with your artful style. See you back in 10.
Simon, let's talk about what we just saw there. That really was a tale of the clock because position-wise, they were very evenly matched for a long time there, Bet. We were talking about it, how James had the extra 3 minutes and Andrew was down to nothing.
Yeah, I think he just played a very nice game of chess there, and he kept his cool in the boxing. For the first time in boxing, that was good stuff. I like that, And he was the gentleman boxer. I like that. How do you feel? TikTok, old boy, TikTok.
Has that inspired your own style, Sam? I know we were talking about maybe you getting in the ring, but would you adopt that?
Gentleman boxer. I mean,
more of a slugger, maybe.
Probably more of a slugger, I think. Yeah, I haven't got that energy. I'm too old for that. So.
In the ring, as on the board, you would be pressing forward. That right hand, the equivalent of Ari the H-Pawn. No time for this jabbing nonsense. You would just kind of be straight at you.
Things, I think. Yeah, it's got
combination playing. It's what we love to see.
We've got a couple of big fights coming up, right, Chris? I mean, we got a heavyweight match coming up.
We have a huge heavyweight bout. David, the Northern powerhouse, Germany, from the dark satanic mills of Blackburn, taking on Lars Lazarus Bjorkness, all the way in from Finland. This is a match that was meant to happen last time around, but Lars was so nervous that his heart rate wouldn't get him past his medical.
Right. Is this the last match of the night, or
no? This is the last hors d'oeuvre before the title fight. But this is going to be. David is probably the strongest chess player who we have on show, an ELO of 2,260 plus.
Well, Chris,
from David.
On that note, I will take a quick break. I think it's a little break time, is it, for us now?
Absolutely. You take a little break, and then we'll be back for some more action shortly.
Let's do that.
Alrighty! Who's ready for some more chess boxing? Yes, you are! Now, this is our last bout of the evening. But it is an extra special one because this bout is for a title, which means there's a sexy belt. Gav, are you going to model it for us? Where's the berserker? God, here's a sexy belt they could win! Thanks, Gav. Give us a 12, Gav, on the edge of it. Yeah, baby! Yes! So this is the belt battle for the WCBA European Middleweight title! Yes is right. So, who have we got fighting it out for this prestigious title? Let's see. First into the ring, this fighter loves metal. He loves metal work, black metal, and death metal. Hailing all the way from Bulgaria in Italy, he's fought 5 times and won all 5 of those fights. He also claimed victory twice in the first round of chess. So this could be a very spicy one again, everyone. Let's make some noise for our white corner fighter, weighing in at 72 kilograms, Daniele Dadarota. Let's make some death metal noise! Here he comes! So we're looking at a chess elo of 1700s. He stands at 175 centimeters. His hobbies are chess, Muay Thai, and PC gaming. Give it up one more time for our white corner fighter, Daniele Dadarota. So, joining him in the ring for this belt fight, we have a professional landlord. Yeah, that's more like it. He's also an IT professional from Kettering. Anyone from Kettering? Some people. Now, no other fighter has such a well-developed sense of entitlement. Fitting, right? He is the self-proclaimed king of Persia. His hobbies include dancing, CrossFit, and his specialism is sovereign power. Give it up for our black corner fighter, weighing in at 73 kilograms, Cheyenne Shah Zarindolam. Here he comes! Woo! Alright, let's give it up one more time for Cheyenne Shah Zarindolam! And let's hear it one more time for both our fighters. Remember, this is a belt title they are fighting for. So let's hear it again for Daniele Dadarota and Cheyenne Zarindolam.
Have a good fight, guys.
Enjoy the bout.
Simon, I don't even need to see some chess after that from the Berserker. That's all I needed to go home a happy man. But here we are in this title bout, and they're going at quite a pace again.
Yeah, they're in the opening stage of the game, and with the white pieces, we have the fighter from Italy. And this is a normal position. It's called the opening, the Queen's Gambit accepted. Very long words, but this has all been seen tens of thousands of times before, this position. And now a very normal move, and they're both still in an equal position at the moment.
Very classical opening here, Simon. Two guys who know what they're doing. Daniele all the way from Italy, Cheyenne, the Prince of Persia. Iran, I believe, is the home of chess, and he's paying homage to his origins here by putting on quite a show.
That's right, chess was meant to be invented around the Persia area many, many years ago. So is he going to take it home? Both sides now getting their king safe by castling. Very sensible chess. I slightly prefer White's position because White has 2 pawns, those little foot soldiers in the center of the board. But both players playing very, very well. The one thing I would say, how quick is White playing? He's playing very, very instantaneous chess.
He's just been bashing it out. He's taken 8-9 seconds. It's remarkable stuff. And already he's built up a lead of a minute over Cheyenne. And if you remember that last game we saw, the clock was key. And will that come into play later?
Yeah, I think we need to see a bit of a speed up in pace at the moment from the Prince himself. He's having a good think. Maybe he should develop his last piece. Good move there, bringing his knight into the battle. Both sides are now fully developed. They got all their warriors playing a part in the game, and they now got to come up with a plan. We're into the middle game, the middle part of the game. They're out of the opening, and we can see with the last move, White is trying to gain space. Remember, chess is based on a battle, and it's all about gaining space, winning material, and then killing your opponent's king. And here, very good moves. They're both playing great chess at this moment in time. Black gains some space on one area of the board, but White just retreats. Sometimes you have to retreat to go forwards.
This is a chess level befitting of a prestigious title such as the European middleweight belt here. I'm really enjoying this one. Okay, that knight, we said it was dim on the rim, but it's now hopped into that beautiful square there on the C-file, Simon.
And we have our first exchange. The bishop has been captured, but now it could just be captured back. But I think the prince is thinking about doing some other clever move. I don't think he should think too long. I think he's got to speed up a little bit, but a very solid start from both sides at the moment. Now the queen just comes out. The queen, if it's given a chance, will capture black's pawn. So black has to be a little bit careful about that. Maybe he should move his queen forwards 1 square. Okay, he's going for another capture. He captures the bishop. White captures back. They're equal on points at this moment in time. Who do you prefer here, Chris? Would you rather be with the white pieces or with the black pieces?
I mean, it's very, very even. It depends whether you like the central control that white has, or, there are some open lines. Black could maybe consider dropping the bishop back, opening up a line for the rook. The knight could hop into that central square at some point. I would probably prefer white, though, all said here.
I have to say, I think white is playing a little bit more confidently, and you can see he's built up a 3-minute advantage on the clock, and that has been a critical factor. He's moving his knight into the boxing.
Look how cool, calm, and collected they both are as well. Yeah, that was high-level stuff. They rattled through. The game has kind of come on a pace there. I'd say the key factors here, White's central control, his knight's ability to hop into that beautiful square there. The E5 square, we'd call it on the king file. That looks very juicy and inviting. But more important than anything, almost 3 minutes up on the clock, Simon.
Yeah, he's built up that major time advantage, and we've seen that be so important in the other fights. So I also like White's position. As you mentioned, White has 2 pawns in the center. Black doesn't have 2 pawns. Yes, it's equal on points, but those pawns they control more area. And chess is often about how much area you control. But hang on a minute, we've got a naked berserker. We've got to look at the naked berserker. He's getting more and more naked as the fights go on.
I have to say, there is a little bit of builder's crack going on there, and I, for one, welcome it. It's now gone well past the watershed, and I'm hoping those on the Twitch stream are gonna as open to this as we are. I actually sitting. I can see it.
Go into town
So, I can see the comments. Her Darbia says, "Oh my God, the Viking is drunk." Quite possibly, although he's very professional and still putting on an excellent show. Her Darbia. What's their rating? Her Darbia says as well. So they're both. Daniele is about 1700 elo, and Cheyenne is 1800 elo, which is a decent level. But anyway. Now let's see how they are on the boxing. Again, referee Ronaldo Dominguez having words with both of them. Wants to see a good, clean fight here. Really laying down the law, saying what he's expecting. Both of them looking in good shape, I have to say. We've seen various states of physicality. Cheyenne, he lists his hobbies as dancing and CrossFit. He's certainly looking in fit state there. Daniele, a kickboxer. Oh, a big right straight out the gate there.
Look at that,
and a huge left back from Daniele. They're really not hanging about here. Cheyenne opening up. Oh! He staggered Daniele. That's the first time I've seen someone stagger.
This is action already.
This is brutal. Is Cheyenne going to press it home? He's got the flash in his eyes there. Somebody's saying on the stream, we need to see Simon in the ring, give him 6 points first. Forget seeing Simon in the ring. Look at these two at it. Hammer and tongs.
This is such a great start so far. And look,
and a big right again from Cheyenne.
He's fighting so well, and I feel very scared for the Italian at the moment. The Italian is clearly flustered.
He landed a good left hook there, I have to say. But Cheyenne ate it, and he's coming in again. If you think about the Matt Crazy Arms fight, where they were both very proper, looking to establish their jab, none of that here. They're unloading bombs from the off.
But you know what? If you like black metal, you're quite a tough chap. You could take a punch, you could take many punches. And we see the Italian fighting for this title belt. He's had a lot of punches come his way, but he seems to have recovered extremely well there. And I think he's now calmed the pace down, which is needed to do.
He has come all the way from Bologna in Italy. He is not going to give it up easily, I have to say.
Couple of shots to the body there from the Prince of Persia. And, well, the pace has slowed. I'd like to see, well, you can't land a puncher at the moment, Cheyenne.
I mean, the pace would have to slow after that ridiculous pace of the opening there. They're both taking a little bit of a breather. I'm sure they're going to pick it up again.
Yeah, they're moving around, but it's slowed down a little bit, the pace, but they're still going for the heads. The punches there, and a great counter! What a great counter! Brilliant stuff, and he's going for the
off
kill.
The ropes, Daniele. Off the ropes.
What a street fight this is.
This is the best boxing of the night. Loving this.
Great hits in there, aren't they? Great hits, great counter all the way.
The uppercut from Cheyenne. Both of them taking again a little mutually agreed breather. Simon Williams to my left takes a glass of orange juice, a sip to see him through. What about this is? Cheyenne unloading the uppercuts there. Getting a little bit of a telling off from referee Ronaldo for pulling down there on the head. That was a canny move. My word. My word. So back to the commentary on the stream from Bill 2WK. We need to see Simon in the ring. Give him 6 points first to even it up. Having seen that action, surely that invigorates anyone to want to get in the ring, Simon. That was
great to watch. I mean, both fighters, brilliant. I have to say, it did look like Cheyenne was the better boxer there, coming up with a range of punches. but also the Italian, he didn't go down. He kept his guard. He's a tough guy. You could tell he's not going to go down easily. And also, I like his position in the chess. He's got to take it in the chess, I feel. He's got the 3-minute advantage. He's got the better position. He's got to keep that pace up now. He's got to keep the chase.
And now that he knows what he's in for on the boxing, I think he's going to really have to try and force the pace here on the chess.
Definitely. What a round it was. Some great blows coming in. And you could just see from the two fighters that Cheyenne, not really that bothered. He seems in very good shape, doesn't he? Not breathing heavily, but the
He looks
Italian,
cool, calm, connected.
the crowd going crazy here.
The crowd
The title
absolutely berserk. And speaking of berserk, the berserker is back with his underwears.
And I love that underwear. I'm going to have to get myself a little bit of that, you know.
Maybe the next tournament, Simon.
maybe I'll
next time you play, you could bust out that checkerboard yourself.
Oh, I could treat the girlfriend to a little bit of chess underwear one day.
I mean, what a treat that would be. That's one for another day, another stream, perhaps. Premium content, I
don't
would
know
say.
if I'll be able to get away streaming that, you know. I think we should get back to the chess here.
That we should. And we are back to the chess. What a round of boxing. First thing we note, Simon, the clock. Look at Daniele, 8.5 minutes still. He blitzed through that in the opening game. Cheyenne, 5 minutes 20, and the pace is relentless again.
Yeah, they have many exchanges going on in the middle of the board, so you can see pieces getting whipped off, but they're still on the same points. And I have to say, Black's position now seems to me have got a little bit better. He's got the open line. Look at Black's rook. Black's rook is on that open file, but still extremely equal. The one thing that's a little bit worrying for the Prince is his time. But if he keeps going in the boxing, it might not be a factor. A nice move there. I like that. That's stopping White's plan. And White's now got to come up with some maneuvers. He's making more exchanges. We're going into the end game. Now, in the end game, the combination of the queen and knight work better than a queen and bishop. So you would have thought that White maybe has a better position because of that factor.
So you were saying there about stopping the other players' plans, some prophylactic measures, Simon. Everyone needs to take prophylactic measures. I think they should take that lesson away. But back to the chess. White's central pawn there is a little bit weak because it's on its own. It's isolated.
Yeah, but the other thing is the white queen has come into the center of the board. And this is a great move. You should put your queen, the most powerful piece. It's like a battle. In a battle, there's only 2 big units left, so they become more powerful. Now, we could have an exchange of queens here. No, he's gone for a check. There's a big trick here.
It's a check.
Yeah, but don't take the pawn. Don't take...
He's taken it. Oh, my word!
He's lost
his queen.
There's a check. White is losing his queen.
This
huge
is
he's
move.
resigned. He's resigned.
It's over. It's over.
Let's get both the fighters with the referee, please. Let's do this properly. This is for the belt. Let's do this properly. Okay, both fighters. Daniele, don't worry about your hair for a second, buddy. Let's go to the referee, please. Come on. Let's do this right, everyone. Are you ready? Owing to a resignation, the winner, our black corner fighter, Cheyenne the Shah, the King of Persia, and now the winner of the WCBA European Middleweight title! And let's also give a big round of applause to the valiant Daniele Rota! insane amount. Sharon, you got it! Finally! What have you got any words to say?
It was my time coming, so here it is.
Long live the reign of the King of Persia. Give it up one more time for our winner! Do the lap of honor, go on! Oh wow, that concludes the chess boxing today. Let's give it up one more time for all of the fighters that you've seen in the ring today. Thank you very much. Now, a few things to say. Thank you also to our commentary team, to Chris, to Siren, to our wonderful boxing referee, Ronaldo, and to our chess arbiter, Camwell, and of course, to our berserker! Now, our next event is just in time for Christmas on the 10th of December. Please join us again here for Seasons Beating here at the Dome. Follow us on the Chessboxing Nation Instagram at Chessboxing Nation. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/chessboxing. And there is also a chess boxing podcast. So you can get your fill of everything chess boxing. There will be an after party tonight at the Aces and Eights. Who's going? All right, we'll see you there. I want to say a big thank you as well to the medics and the production team. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Keeping everything running seamlessly. Thank you also to the Dome, our sponsors Chess and Bridge and Windsor Actuarial Consultants. And last of all, thank you to you, the audience! You've been amazing! We have one last little treat for you. As long as you're not wearing stilettos, we are going to invite them into the ring after the chessboard's been cleared. No, all right. We're going to play some really loud music. As long as you're not wearing stilettos or carrying a drink, you can get in the ring and have a boogie. All right, I'm going to get out of the ring and I'm going to tell you when you can get in. So let me get out. All right, we're just going to clear the boards. If you're keen, assume the position. Yeah. I think the berserker's going to dance with anyone who wants to join him. All right, there's some keen people here I can see. Limbering up, ready to jump into the ring. So over there, someone over there. Oh yeah, a bit of Roy Orbison. Okay, are we ready? Oh, we're nearly there. Let's give it a countdown and we get out of the way. Be safe, everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap the ring!
Simon, a jamboree atmosphere in the ring. This crowd high on the level of chess boxing that they have seen. In the meantime, let's talk about that last match that we saw, because that all unfolded very, very quickly. What went down there, Simon?
Well, I have to say it's really upsetting for the Italian player because he had a very nice position, but he got greedy and he didn't think through his move. And very good for the King of Persia. Unleashed a very nice tactic and he won the queen. Maybe they could have played on a little bit, but who knows. And what the hell is going on in the ring here? Everyone's just getting in the ring.
It was a classic tactic, unfurling the attack of queen on queen through the bishop check. I do feel sad for the Italian coming all the way from Bologna and getting a passering, you could say.
I have to say, Chris, I'm glad. I hope health and safety are not watching this. You know, 'cause, have there ever been so many people in a ring?
It is a free-for-all. I have never seen that many people in a ring before in my life. It truly is a party atmosphere here. This North London crowd are drunk on the joy of chess boxing.
Or maybe just drunk, I'm not sure. There's something going on here. But what a great event, though. What great fun.
What an event. What an atmosphere. What a set of bouts. We saw first-timers together enjoying their mutual experience. We saw the most experienced chess boxer in the world being downed by someone in their first fight. We saw the Prince of Persia against someone all the way from Italy.
I mean, how many more people can get in the ring here? More people are getting in the ring. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It truly is a jamboree.
It is.
I suggest all our watchers online Shoela says, get up there, the ginger. It seems you're very, very popular with our streamers this evening. There are calls for you to get in the ring in this morass.
It's been a great event. What great fun. I'd have to say, Chris, I think it's time to leave them with the scenes. It's been great fun commentating with you. So thank you very much, Chris.
It's been a pleasure. I look forward to it the next time. And on that note, Simon, good night and good night to our viewers.